Oops. All right. It says one person's on. Who's on? Who is on? All right. Sorry about that, folks. A little bit late. Had a few issues there. I was on Safari, and I guess I had to switch to Google Chrome. Who knew? Who knew? One thumbs up already for this face. Oh my god. Well, wanted to go through a few things with everybody. You know, everything from my highly designed and well taken care of crop plan for the year. Show you what's going on, what I got started back there. I mean, obviously, I'm always doing micros, but there are other things started. Stu, how you doing? Mr. Pedals on the paving slabs. And William Coleman. Right on. Got a few people, so that's cool. Tell you what, I'll show you what's growing on, and then I'll come back and see who's all here. Let's check it out. Where are we going first? The back rack here. I'm thinking that you can see that. Yeah. So the ones with the covers on them, those are in blackout phase right now. That's actually red amaranth. Let's see if I can get a. Which one will you see? I hope you can see that wee little baby red amaranths. Here, we'll pull these out. And those will end up looking like those fairly soon. So we yesterday we potted up a ton of, I mean, 300 or 400. So there's all the purple basil, and we did a whole bunch of oregano as well that I had started. This is a row of purple kohlrabi microgreens. That's one of Willie's favorites. He absolutely loves that stuff. I got my sweet peas started. Some of them are coming up great. And the Canada Day blend, which is just red and white, hasn't yet. So slightly alarmed, a little concerning. And we got some arugula here. And then this should be some flowers. I think these are Johnny Jump Ups. So some pansies. I'm really going to put some effort into the edible flowers this year. I think that the chefs that I've been dealing with are really going to like them. I think our mixed salad blends on the market tables are just going to look sexy with live flowers in them. A whole row of radishes up there. If you haven't tried radish microgreens, please do. If you like radishes, flavor just explodes. Got some buckwheat going on. It's needs a water, but it's getting darn close. I had some absolute horrible germination on my first round of herbs. This is just a couple of things at a time that I wanted to see if I could bring back from the brink of dehydration death. But I potted up the rest of those. This is Salanova lettuce to go in the greenhouse. Like, look at how crazy those leaves look. Man, purple kohlrabi rocks. I love it. And again, just more transplants, more arugula all over there. This is the buckwheat tray once it's been cut. It's got such a gorgeous color to it, and it actually tastes a little bit like rhubarb. It's got that tang to it. Oh, I'm seeing heads of lettuce poking up, ladies and gentlemen. Woohoo! All right, we got some parsley and thyme and summer savory, which is this long, tall guy right here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bunch of herb baskets. So I'll probably have parsley in the middle and then like a basil and a thyme and an oregano. And I think we will be selling those at market. And I've been rocking the basil lately. Needs a little water. It's getting sad, Ryan. But these are just fantastic. I've harvested these probably 3 times already. I'm just keeping them below the lights with the harvest. I've done cuttings. Everything in this tray here is from cuttings. They do just fine. And then I seeded out more because it did. Thyme, summer savory, a little Hawarthia. Oh, that one's starting to put out a pup or two. Nice. Free Hawarthia. So there you go. Out at the farm. What do I got going on out there? I got lots going on out there, actually. I've got probably 8,000 onions to go in the ground. All right, where are we at comment-wise here? Let me turn my thingy up, the light on the screen so my old-ass eyes can see. Bing! Little Farmer's Farm, how are we doing? How are we doing? Johnny Jump Pop's morning TV. Yes, aerobics presenter. That is not me, my man. Jay Harrison, flowers mixed in the greens will be an eye catcher. Yeah, and that's really what I'm hoping because we spent some time, my oldest and I, like we're always just talking different business ideas. Not always, but that's typically what we're chatting about. And like she's very, very, very into cooking. If any of you folks are on Instagram, follow Thistle Hill Farms. All those meals that you see are what we eat here, and Riley really goes over and above to make sure that those are, like restaurant quality, and we eat well. I'm fortunate. I'm blessed to be around people that enjoy good food as much as I enjoy eating it. I'm certainly not that good of a chef. I'll get by, but anyway, yeah, follow us on there. That would be great. You'll see a lot more of what's going on than you will on YouTube. Same thing as Facebook, Thistle Hill Farms. Follow that. So yeah, anyway, the game plan was going to be the edible flowers because it seems like there's a hole in the market out here. Like so we Googled, and if you guys, anybody can do this, Google, edible flowers in Canada. And we focused on Western Canada. We focused on Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, the bigger cities. That is all the big cities in Western Canada. But I digress. There's nothing. There's no companies that you can just go and order a nice little thing. Now we did find somebody, and I think they're down in the States. I sent the link to Willie, and he spent a couple hours looking at it. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, so it's gourmetsweetbotanical.com. Gourmetsweetbotanical.com. Check out this website. Their pictures. Hey, kiddo. Hi. Grab a chair, slide her up. Their pictures and their descriptions of the flavors of the different flowers and the on my greenhouse. Like 25. So there's nothing in Canada. So again, like I say,
Good. How are you?
Not bad. You put your face on pretty quick. Just saw her in the kitchen rubbing sleep out of her eye.
Alive and awake.
Wilcoma, Vancouver is the very Western Canada. Yeah, no, true enough. True enough. Hello, Marie. Hello, Mags. Hello, Bill. Who else we got here? Commenters that I'm seeing right now. I guess I could go back and see if I missed any questions. 6 days till spring, Marie. 6 days till spring. Oh, yeah.
I honestly kind of felt like spring, though, lately.
It has here for us anyway. Marie, you got to be. Oh, no, you're not just up the road from me anymore. How are things over in your neck of the woods? What's temperatures like? We've been above zero every day. I mean, the other day it was 7 or 8 degrees, and we were working in the greenhouse. Holy, was it hot? Well, we get up in the mornings and it's still, I showed you, it's frosty, right? So, I mean, you got your long underwear on, you got your layers on, you spend a couple of minutes in that greenhouse and you're wishing you had shorts on. Mm-hmm. Could a moderator drop a link for Thistle Hill Farms in the chat, please? Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Can I do that? How many L's in Hill? Thistle Hill Farms on either Facebook or Instagram, and again, like we post daily, I think, on those.
And Riley uses my camera, and she's a really good photographer. So
Yeah, she was. She was just talking about how, from a marketing side of things, it would really benefit us to put a little more effort into that, and get some lights and make some backdrops and this, that, and the other thing. Steve from Digwell Greenfingers sent me a link to a place, for the cool backdrops, and of course I was going through all the material that I had from countertops, and I was kind of like, I could just make 4 or 5 of those. So we did, and we got a couple of inexpensive lights so that it's, she can take really nice pictures. And again, if you follow us on those other forms of social media, you will see that those are some nice pictures. So it helps us on the sales side of things too, like the Thistle Hill Farms website. I mean, just having really nice pictures of all the different greens and all the different products that we carry has been a huge benefit. So, whoops, I don't know where we're at here with comments.
I can't read that far.
Yeah, let's see here. If you have a question for Ryan, make it easy for him to see. Yeah, that would help, Willie. I appreciate that.
Hi, Lily.
Benny, how are you, Benny? Benny L's in Norway, and she's a heck of a grower.
Nice.
And I wish she did more videos. Right.
People think
If you haven't,
people wish that you did more videos.
I guess whatever. Benny, if you haven't been over to see Catherine Ivy, she had some very nice things to say about you as well in her last video. Miss Van Gogh. Hello, Vicky. How are you? Oh, and Adam Lobman Grohow. Do you remember that video, the first dance weird video that I did?
Oh yeah.
Adam was the star of that one. Nice. Right on. So I'll tell you a story. Really quick. We're driving out to the farm one day, and like this is out in the country. There's nothing but fields on either side, and we pass a truck. And for some reason, I looked over at the truck as we passed, and I'm like, do I recognize that vehicle? Do I? No, he had a couple stickers on the back window and 100K an hour, passed each other in the other way. I kept kind of looking in my mirror, and I noticed the brake lights go on. And they slow down, and they turn around. And I say to Kaylin, hey, I think we're being followed. She's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm like, that vehicle just turned around in the middle of an open field on either side. So I continue to drive like past our little farm because these people are now catching up to us. And I pull into a little place past our farm and turn around and back the truck in. And there's these big, huge pine trees. And I just see this vehicle creeping around the pine trees. And then they see us and pull in. Kaylin and I were freaking
almost
out.
pooped my pants.
Oh, yeah. I got my beaten stick in between my seats. I'm like, what is going on? This vehicle pulls right up to us, rolls down the window. We knew it was you. We saw your truck. We watched you on YouTube. My heart was like a cartoon. Like it was just pounding out of my chest. And they're like, oh, we're sorry if we weirded you out. And we're like, oh, yeah, we're weirded out. Oh, for sure we are weirded out. Yeah, it was really weird. Chatted with them for a little while. They have a little farm just 10, 15 minutes away. So we went and visited that. It's called Red Barn Berries. And they got a little website. So if you want to see their farm, but they've got 300 foot long rows of Saskatoons, of blueberries, raspberries, haskaps, honeysuckle, strawberries, you name it. So they asked me to come out to their farm, which was pretty cool. So I went out and kind of took a little tour, and they built a greenhouse that kind of wraps around their house. It's very non-standard kind of format. And we just talked about different ideas as to how they could get some cash flow coming out of that area, which was Red Barn Berries. And so, yeah, anyway, I think they might start doing hydroponic lettuce. The same as Patty from Spring Hill Farms. And actually, I'll stop there because it's something that I had a really hard time talking about, but Wayne passed away in January, and it sucks. And I've been in contact with Patty lots, and she's an incredibly strong person going through an absolute shit time. So if any of you didn't know that, pop over and give her your support would be wonderful.
We'll use it.
And she had a very unfortunate. They had a very unfortunate setup in that, like a lot of us, they just weren't set up. Like there was no will, and it was only him on the bank account. What's ever going to happen to any of us, right? So, the bank with all their legalities and that type of thing, so they can't access any of their money. They can't pay their bills. She's worried about having to lose the farm. It was like, it was headache and hassle at a time that was completely unneeded. So anyway, much love to Patty and her family. What I remember about Wayne the most was both Wayne and Patty were some of the most supportive people to me when it was like, I knew that I wanted to do this. I didn't really have a clue how. I didn't have any land. Like, I didn't have anything. I think I had a shovel. And they just kept saying, stick at it, pick away, if you can get just a little bit and practice and put up the world's shittiest greenhouse, and you'll learn. And I did. And I think this is going to be going on year 4, I think. And sometimes I feel like, whatever, I don't know anything. And then other times I look back and I'm like, holy cow. Our first greenhouse was like, you could poke your finger through it just to start when it was brand new. I put it up on chunks of, green wood that we had cut down into the wet ground. Like that thing would have rotted out in a year anyway, but they were incredibly supportive. And then once I actually started getting going and getting crops in the ground and going to market again, like any time that I called, I'd leave a message for Wayne. And, if any of you watch them on their videos, like, how busy that farm must be. They've got acres and acres that none of us ever see out in the fields. They've got their huge greenhouses. They had to have the big greens greenhouse. They have markets going on. They've got restaurants and resorts that they deliver to, like insanely busy. And I'd get a voice, message back, hey, sorry to miss your call. And I'm like, thank you for calling me back. Just, it's always such a pleasure talking to people that love growing. And I thank them for everything they've done. Hey, Steve, how are you, buddy? Sorry I missed the chat earlier. I was trying to get a bunch of trays ready to seed out this afternoon. So I've got almost 40 trays of soil filled and tamped and ready to grow for the next week. What's the biggest lesson we learned in 2020 other than it was crazy? Okay.
Okay. No, can't be thrown on the stand for that one. That's a hard question to answer.
Well, what have you learned?
There's so much that I've learned.
Well, throw a couple things out there. It's not limited to one.
I've learned how to better myself. I've learned how to work harder. I've learned, more family ethics. That's honestly a very hard question to answer, to be completely honest with you.
It is a good question, Marie. I look back on our year. So let's say a year ago, maybe just a schmiggle more than a year ago. I literally had just gotten started into microgreens, and with the help of a couple of very good friends at the time, they had not taken no for an answer. They, sent me some money, which, got me my first racks and lights and seeds and trays, and it was able to get me going. So I was running around chasing, I think it was 4 or 5 markets a week, like all the way up to Edmonton. So that's like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. Out to Camrose, an hour and 20 minutes. Leduc was an hour. And this is in the middle of winter. Willie came with me when he came out for my birthday last year. And he's been to some of those markets, right, with me. And all I had was microgreens. And I slowly started building up, our customer base and educating people on microgreens. And I kept looking at the other veg table, Susanna from Market on 12, and she had tomatoes and she had cucumbers and peppers. And I'm kind of like, I've been to her place. Like, none of her greenhouses are heated. None of them are high enough for her to be growing stuff that's, 30, 40 feet long. And so I asked her, and she's like, well, we just, we team up with one of the local greenhouses and we, buy some of their products wholesale and we take them to market so our table looks nicer. And I was like, that's a good idea.
Plan.
So I started taking some of Susanna's excess produce to the markets that she wasn't in. I got in touch with those greenhouses and built a relationship with them. So I was always able to have, well, not always, but pretty much always able to have tomatoes, cukes, peppers, eggplants, things like that. And then we started building relationships with a whole bunch of other farmers.
And we got zucchinis and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I had like everything from like decent sized farms that have been around for a while to, little folks that had come to market and like, oh, we got a 60-foot, patch of zucchinis. Would you sell those at market? And I was like, sure. So and we just kept building relationships with other vendors and adding other products into our portfolio, or what we offer to our customers. And so I guess to backtrack a little bit, my oldest was giving me grief like right when the shutdown came. So like about a year ago, right? Everything got locked down and I was suicidally down that I have no markets to go to. I have no way to make money. And she's like, you need a website. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's all well and good. It's like me wanting to be 6'2". It ain't happening. Right. But she decided to build a website. So all these other vendors' items we were able to actually post. Our deliveries took off, due to obviously just good timing. Right. Just because of the pandemic, people wanted their stuff delivered. And then we kept adding things like, I was beside a Ukrainian lady that was super, super nice at market. And she does the borscht soup. She does the cabbage rolls and the sauerkrauts and the pierogies. So I said, hey, we only go to one market together. Would you like me to move some of your product? And we worked out a deal. So we carry her stuff. We were working with, an artesian handcrafted meats guy for a while. And that worked okay until we started selling more than he could make. Honey, we work with a local farm now out of Red Deer. They're a young family.
Even Francois from
Camrose. Yeah, we've got a whole vegan line by a chef in Camrose. So it's about an hour and 20 minutes away. So all of his chocolates and his walnuts and his
almonds, cashews.
Yeah, he does vegan cheeses and
crackers.
Just a whole bunch of kind of neat stuff that I know that our customers, a certain amount of them, would sure be into. So yeah, if you take a peek on any of our other forms of social media, you will have seen pictures or posts or what have you. So what have I learned over the years? That it's I think building relationships, whether it's with, some of the market managers, whether it's with other vendors, obviously customers, other local businesses, like recently we've gotten our microgreens into 2 different health food stores here. Recently, I started putting together 10-20 trays with 8 different 5x5 ponnets of microgreens and going to restaurants, dropping them off a free tray and earning their business. And of course, keep in mind that this is when it was minus 20, minus 30, minus 40. And every single week I'd make sure that they had, the freshest microgreens. I focus on selling them live, which some people don't care for. But those some people are my competitors that don't sell them live. My chefs love it. Every single time they cut that, to put that on a plate just as it goes out the window to table 23, it was alive.
Like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah. So that's been popular. In fact, the microgreens that we're selling at the health food stores, those are also in the living ponnets as well. So people can return those. We sanitize them and reuse them again. So I've just learned, Marie, that I need to be incredibly adaptable, because at the start, say a year ago, I didn't have all the produce that I wanted to to be able to service our customers. And we've just slowly built up and slowly built up. We increased what it was that we were growing. And then our crop plan for this year is very motivating because it's going to have a nice mix of everything from like the spring veg into the summer veg, and then a heavy focus on storage veg for the winter. So beets, carrots, celeriac, rutabaga, turnips, long winter radishes, just an absolute ton of different things that I'm going to be able to keep in cold food storage all the way through until, hopefully close to this time in the winter, which will help us a ton. So we have to be adaptable because this little farm idea is what's keeping our noses above water. I mean, there's still, the industry that my daughters were in, which was restaurant bar, it's still not, it's still not hopping. Renovations industry that I was in, years ago is not busy. Again, when there's a pandemic, most people don't want strangers coming in and out of their house. So this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing.
And we're having fun at it some days.
Thanks, Tony. There has been a fair bit of hard work in there. Moving the farm was, that was epic.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I know. I look back on it and I'm like, I don't even have a clue how we did that. There's a funny story. Not funny. It was depressing.
It was tragic.
So
Tragedy.
we met a local farmer that had, a great big huge field. Oh, sure, 100 foot by 150 foot. Yeah, absolutely. No problem. So, built a relationship with them and we moved everything over to their farm. And I mean, everything, like all the pallets that I had used for my previous seating table. I had those stacked up eyeball high, 6-7 rows of those. We had all the greenhouses torn down. We had the poly. We had like everything. We had everything from there stacked up nice and neat. We got that carport shelter thing that we're going to
set that up in the dark, in the blistering wind.
Yeah, it was
sucked.
Yeah, it was fun. Kay and I had a blast. We almost blew away.
I hated it.
But we got that up. We got everything looking, nice and neat and organized as much as we could. I'd spoken to the gentleman and just said like, hey, listen, we need to get some wood so that we can start putting our greenhouses together. And he had a big flat deck trailer there. And he's like, yeah, whenever it's in the yard, just grab it. And I'm like, really? Just grab the flat deck trailer? Yep, no problems. If it's in the yard, you can use it. Are you sure? That seems a little, no, if it's here, take it. Oh, okie doke. We won't be long. I appreciate that. So we had set up a deal online with somebody that was selling some lumber that was perfect for what we needed it for. And it went and hooked up the trailer.
I even was like, should we maybe call or text them, being like, hey?
And I'm like, nah. I talked to the gentleman, the husband, and he just said, take it. Oh, we get loaded up, pull out of there, make a right. My phone starts ringing.
I am not happy.
Yeah, I spoke with the lady farmer and not 100% sure the husband farmer talked to the wife farmer or whatever. Anyway, I immediately found myself immersed up to my neck in very warm temperatures.
I was like, okay, now before we start setting everything up, we should probably go to the other option there.
Well, yeah, at the time we didn't. At the time we didn't have another option, we
didn't have like the greenhouse set up and stuff.
No, we didn't.
I'm like, before we go into too much progress of putting all the posts in, we should go into a different option.
Yeah, well, and in fairness, like, listen, that's on me, right? I mean, I should have knocked on her. Hey, is it still cool if I about it? Yeah, so I'll take responsibility for that fiasco. And then I tried. I tried. I called. I left messages. I went, dropped by a few times just to try and chat and see if we could iron things out. And I didn't hear anything back. And Kaylin and I had just come from a situation that, we weren't welcome there, and neither one of us was even remotely interested in starting off a new relationship the same way that we ended, a previous one. So we took every single one of those pallets that I had just moved, tore a little tendon in my elbow here when I first started moving those pallets. So that was wicked awesome. And we took all those, loaded those up, made 4 trips clear on the other side of the city, like 25K to the dump, got rid of everything. Everything else that we moved and we put in the backyard, which, highly classy, in town, just having a farm lying around. And yeah, I didn't know what to do. I was so down, because we need growing room, right? I mean, we need it. So I had an order for a bunch of cabbages, and I ended up chatting with the farmer that we had built a relationship with through the summer, and I had moved a whole bunch of his vegetables at different markets, and super nice guy, absolutely loves the growing, couldn't stand the market, so it worked really, really well. And just kind of explained really briefly, got nowhere to go. I don't, hey, what's going on next year? I'm like, I have no idea. And he's like, well, how much room do you need? And I was like, 100 foot by 100 foot would do us great. He's like, well, I think I got room out in that field. And I was like, what? Are you sure? And that's how we ended up on the farm that we're at now. And he said yes. So we moved everything over there, reset up the carport, re-put everything away. And then you guys saw when we started making videos, we started digging into the ground when it was, there was a foot of snow on it. And if you saw the last video, you know where we're at. So I haven't been looking at the comments at all. I'm so sorry, people. I'm blabbing and telling stories. Cheesed again. No, we have not been cheesed again. Thank the Lord.
What is that?
Remember when the truck got cheesed?
Oh.
But I have seen on Facebook here some weird, has anybody else experienced that? And I'm laughing.
People mark cars to rob them or whatever, but I've never been cheesed before.
All right. I'm hoping that you guys, I'm kind of skimming through the comments. I don't see much in capitals. I hope you guys are just chit-chatting amongst yourselves. Ryan got an owie. Yeah, dude, it sucked. And the funny thing was, if my arm was curled, it was absolutely fine. And it still is when I straighten it. I can barely close my hand. And I was asking the doctor, and I'm like, so does that go away? Oh, yeah, you just, if you can just not do anything with that for, 6 weeks. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not going to go away.
Up a greenhouse, yeah, don't do anything.
What are we? Hey, Rob, how are you? Hello to everybody. If I haven't said hi to you and you're on and you're watching, I apologize if Jay, yes, there you go. You had said, did I miss that video? And I didn't even respond to that. No, you didn't miss the video, man. I just didn't make it. It was whatever. I'm glad I just told the story of how everything sort of transpired up till here. Because, that would have been a
depressing video.
Yeah, at the time, man, I just couldn't do it. But spring feels like it's in the air. I'm so excited. We've got the how's things, Rob? Things are good. Things are good. They can always be better, obviously, but they're better than they've been. So I will take progress whenever I can see it and get it and work towards it. But I think we've got those beds in the greenhouse now covered with row cover, just to keep a little bit more heat in there. Ideally, we're going to get as much of the weed seed that's in there and close to the top germinating as possible, so that we can get take care of that first layer of weeds, and then I can get seeding. Because one of the things that I am sorely missing, is lettuce. Any of us, we all grow lettuce. We grow successionally. We grow it all year round if we can, because everybody likes lettuce. So when you're selling veg, it's sort of a kick in the nards to not have lettuce. That's a staple for what people want. Only so many people want an aubergine, right? But most people eat lettuce a couple of times a week. Muddy Boots. Hello, Nigel. How are you? Yeah, it's the funny thing is, and it probably does look weird on video that I'm, cruising around in a t-shirt and 3 feet of snow. But, when we come out of winter and we've had the, the minus 20s to minus 40s, minus 5 or 6 outside just feels warm-ish. I don't know. I don't know not exactly sure how to describe it. But, I don't know. If anybody has any questions, I think I've just run my mouth for 45 minutes. Who else is on that I haven't said hi to? I'm looking at the comments now, so if you want to throw a question in that I skipped by earlier. Sam's Allotment, hello, hello. Dig well, fun helps. Fun helps a lot, man. Which is why it's so nice to be working with the kiddos. You know, not every job's a two-person job, but at the end of the day, it's a lot more fun working with somebody else. You know, the music, the conversation, joking around, help when it is a big job. You know, getting two people going on different things. I had a lady give me a call that's affiliated. She's doing a liaison in between like a government grant program in the high schools around here. So a long story short is I can sign up for 1, 2, or 3 people. I get to interview them, high school students that are in ag programs and want to learn more about the farming side of things. And I would get a rebate from the government if I was employing them for X amount of hours over the course of the summer. And I've run the numbers, and it would sure be nice, you know, with that rebate. I mean, they'd be paying half a person's wages, and I know that when it comes, not so much the seeding time, I don't think, but once it starts getting full fledged into harvest time, I think I could definitely use the hand, and it'd be fun to teach some students, you know, a couple of things that I've learned. What are our overnight temperature lows at the moment? Yeah, I mean, we're probably, you know, -2 to -10 type of thing. Muddy Boots, Ryan. What is the builds plans for the WAS station sound spinner and storage shelf? I think what I'm going to do, so the salad bubbler is essentially, a lot of people use a livestock waterer. So it's just a large, deep container that can hold water. They'll run PVC pipe around the bottom of it and then up to a jacuzzi pump. They'll drill holes in that PVC pipe. That's creating the bubbling effect. So any of the loose leaf greens agitate, the dirt falls down, and you've cleaned a large amount of lettuce in a short period of time. I've seen folks that they either dip and dunk, or they throw the full heads of lettuce in. A couple of things: you're taking the field heat off of it, which is going to help it stay crisp longer, and it helps it toughen up through the washing and the drying and the bagging process, and it obviously cleans it. So any kind of dirt splatters from rain, or, you know, bug shit, or, you know, or bird poo, or whatever's on there, right? So in regards to the bubbler, most of the people that I've seen tend to upgrade to a bigger one, a deeper one, holds more water. They can get more washes and before they have to drain the water and wash everything out. Jacuzzi would work for that, eh? So what I have access to is an IBC tote. So that's one of the 1,000-liter, 250-gallon tanks. And I think it might be a little big. I'm hoping that it's not, you know, too big and it takes too long to fill it up when we need it. But that's what I have access to for like $50. So instead of spending $300-400 on a cattle trough or something similar, I think I'm going to use that. I will cut it down so that it's deep enough to bubble and hold product, but still shallow enough so that I can reach in with my monkey arms and grab the greens. I have just behind those racks there, I have an old washing machine, a stand-up washing machine that a friend of mine and I are going to rip. I'll try and do a video on it, but it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to do a how-to video when it's my first time. Imagine that. How to do this. I don't really know. But we're going to tear that thing apart and basically just have it wired to the motor so that the unit spins. I have a basket that's perforated that's going to hold the greens. And we're going to put a little bathroom timer on there so that it'll just spin for 10 minutes and shut off. Then we can dump that onto the drying rack just to get any residual dampness off of it. And and then into some bags, and then straight into, I think one of our next projects is going to be, I have a utility trailer. I'm going to take my tools from there and put them in our storage unit. We're going to frame the inside of it, insulate it, board it, and then that way we can attach a air conditioning unit to the top so we can make a cold food storage, which I know, we don't need often in Canada, but we do need it for the entirety of our market season. So, imagine going out early in the morning because that's when things are crisp and all the energy's coming up, and you harvest all your stuff and you get it looking beautiful and sexy, and you name it and you sing songs to it and you read poetry to it and you get it to market, and then it sits in like 26 degrees, smoldering away,
in a bag,
losing its, you know what I mean?
Sad.
Yeah. And it's like, sexy the night before at the bar and sexy in the morning are two different things. And that's what the veg look like. So we need to avoid that. So we're going to convert that trailer into mobile cold food storage. So bubble, spin, drying rack, bag into the bins, and then straight into a nice cold trailer that we can bring home and plug in. I also have electricity out at the farm. So yeah. And then I guess we'll have to look at getting a little generator so that we can run that while we're doing markets. A lot of times when we're doing double markets, we're starting at 5 a.m. with harvests, and then, hey, easy now.
Coming home at like 8. I guess ending at like 9.
Yeah,
to unload and everything.
Yeah, right. You unload everything, do a bit of an inventory, clean up the market bins that are a mess. Because at the end of the market, folding everything up all nice and neat so it's perfect the next time is just not a thing, right? Just not a thing. Patty, I think I saw you jumped in. How are you, my dear? Hope it's a sunshiny day for you out there, my friend. Shittiest washing machine ever. Exactly, Diggy. Yeah, exactly. Money Boots. Do you have any problems with slugs or bugs in the harvested crops? Slugs, last year was an overly moist year out here from a gardening side of things. And there was, I had slugs. I didn't have them in the harvested crops, but then again, I also looked for them because,
what was our problem though? We had to put the row cover on so the
flea beetles would leave our radishes alone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I don't have a huge issue with slugs. We do have bugs for sure. Flea beetles, are a bad one. Cutworms out here. Yeah, there's numerous ones. I find a lot of times with a bit of a drier year or a drier environment, there are less to deal with. Like I don't have anywhere near what Willie has on the other side of the mountains or what you guys in the UK have. Question: would solar wind power be feasible instead of a generator? In this context, Stu, I don't believe so because an air conditioner is going to draw an awful lot of power. So I would have to look into it. I'm sure it's possible, but I'm just curious how many batteries I would need to have a solar system run an air conditioning unit, for 7 to 10 hours. I would have to look into it. Same with vegetable showers, Ryan, and marquee veg wilts look like crap. Yeah. That's a challenge. It's been so interesting kind of, taking that next step. I've loved growing forever, and then I got into growing, and then, made some beds out in the backyard, and then ripped the front yard out and put a food forest in, and, then, tried doing the small scale farming, side of things, and now going to markets because, you got to move the product. There's not a whole lot of point in growing a large abundance if you don't have any way to market it. So the different challenges that market throws at you, and especially the weather, it can be a beautiful day, which is going to bring out a lot of traffic. But if you're, say if you're on the north side and the sun's like scooting on the south, everything, your whole table sits in the sun for 4 hours, and you got to keep that stuff looking, top notch. Otherwise it's not going to be a great day.
And then also it's like where like the market's located, sometimes you have to worry about the wind.
Oh,
Like I've broken far too many canopies where it breaks my heart because they weren't even my canopies.
yeah, we had a bad run there last year.
Yeah.
Last year was such a long year. Like I can't even. We could be on here for 3 hours, and I don't even think I could tell you all the stories from last year. But like one of them, so I don't even know if I should tell that story about the truck. That whole story was just so okay. So we're at the end. Oh, I'm telling it. Okay, so we're at the Lacombe market in the morning. So again, 5:00 start. We come home, get everything bagged up. Got to be at market at 8 because it starts at 9. So we get everything set up there. We do our lovely, lovely day in Lacombe. We get everything packed up. Take a bit of an inventory. Race out to the farm to do some more harvest for the afternoon market, which was out in Sylvan Lake, which is a little resort town, which is just insanely busy in the summer. It's so busy to the point that, well, okay, and so we were in COVID restrictions. So the big area where people can change to go to the beach and they can shower and there's bathrooms and everything, can't do that. So they put some porta potties outside of this thing, right? So you got 10,000 tourists here going to the beach, 4 porta potties. You can imagine the state that these things were in. And I won't go too much farther into detail. They were disgusting. And I'm not an overly picky guy. You know, when you gotta go, you gotta go. I realized about halfway through the market that I needed to go. And I went and surveyed the situation and decided that not a chance in hell am I adding to that mountain. And I was like, no big deal. No big deal. Only got a couple hours left. I can make it. It's not a big deal. So I walk back up to the stand. Kaylin's like, you feel better? And I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. And so she's laughing for the last 2 hours of market because I'm standing there just every now and again. Oh God. So we finish this market. At this point, I think we have other vendors helping us load things into the vehicle because I can't move without making noises. I'm like practicing Zen. My core strength that day went up like 4 notches. Like, hold it together, Ryan. Hold it together. My truck was making some weird noises, but I assured Kaylin that this was
like on empty gas too.
Well, it wasn't quite empty. I know my truck.
It was on empty, guys.
We had enough to ghost it home, is what I'm saying. Okay. My daughter's name is Kaylin, but it's not pronounced with 2 syllables, really. It's more Kaylin. Kailyn.
All right, just go by KK. Don't
KK.
throw a third in. We're good.
Yeah, don't throw a third K in. That is not good. So, anyway, we get a bit of help from folks. We get the vehicle loaded up. I grab and I get myself into this vehicle. I sit down gingerly.
He goes into a gas station, gets smokes, but doesn't go poop in there either.
No, I've been in that one too before. So, anyway, we're heading home, and the truck sounded a little rough, and I was pretty sure that it was just the manifold that was making it sound really loud. I was wrong. So we get out of a 35K venture from market to our house to the safety of my own bathroom. We get about 8K away.
I look in like the mirror and I'm like, Dad, the truck is smoking.
And I'm like, what? Bang! We shoot a piston right out the bottom of the truck, pull over on, okay, so now we're on the second busiest highway. It's not the main bisector Highway 2. It's Highway 12 coming in and out of Lacombe. And I'm talking busy. There is barely a shrub to be seen anywhere, let alone trees or anything. I get out gingerly, take a look under the truck. My truck is puking out oil, just dying slowly, bleeding out on the highway. All I'm looking around is like, where can I go? Kaylin's like, I'll hold up a jacket for you. I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm just going to die. My truck is messed up. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. I'm sweating at this point. I'm sweating. I lose it. I call our neighbor. So I call our neighbor and I'm like, Tammy, can you come and please pick us up. I've got all the market stuff here. My truck's dead. So she comes out, and my other daughter, Riley, comes out. We get everything loaded up into their vehicles. Oh, I'll hop in with Riley. So I have to hop in with our neighbor.
I hopped in with
Oh, God. Get home. I can't even help unload anything. I'm like walking like a penguin inside. It was unbelievable. So we ended up going, everything worked out, folks. Everything worked out. All right. But so after that, I had to source an engine for the truck.
I went back out to the truck to go clean it out.
Oh yeah,
Both
sitting
phones
on
had to come.
sitting on the highway. Had to get that towed back. And actually, our neighbor Tammy, talked to a tow truck guy that she knows, and she took care of all that. I was having a very, very bad day. And so what did we do? We did like three or 4 weeks. We did all of our markets out of my daughter's car.
My best friend would have to come and like drop off extra vegetables for double markets. She had a newborn baby. She was like, she helped out.
Yeah, we definitely had some help, but it was nuts. I'll show you a picture of my daughter's vehicle someday. It's not like some huge, it's a Mitsubishi Outback.
But with canopies and everything else that we were carrying
canopies,
in the summertime,
2 tables, our cutting table, all the boxes.
We would literally go to a market together, and I would have like ginormous Tupperware bins on my lap.
Like up to here, all she can do is like look at me or look out the window.
Like, the middle thing would be more Tupperware bins. So therefore, I couldn't see Dad, and we're just like having conversations behind this shield as I'm holding this like 50-pound Tupperware bin.
Oh, it was
great.
Oh no, it was good times, and people would see us roll up, and they're like, "Oh, what happened to your truck?" And I'm like,
"Don't even talk to me.
It's okay." We opened up this little, it was like a flipping clown car. The amount of we set up market, ram everything back in. We had to stack it too, so that the cutting tables that I use were at the very top. So now picture from the ceiling to the top of the table in the back, we're sliding trays of microgreens, and it was
fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
It was a good time.
It was good. It was good times.
I really hope that's next summer too.
God help me. No, we're actually, I think we're gonna get rid of, the game plans, get rid of my truck, and certainly not upgrade, but just get a vehicle that's far more conducive to markets, because we're gonna have 2 like those little canopy things, are 10 foot by 10 foot. So that's typically at a summer market what a vendor gets. We're gonna get 2 this year. So essentially our market setup is gonna double. Veggie back garden, what's going on, Kev? Hey, where have you popped up from? When was this arranged? I'm effing raging. All right. I did give you plenty of notice. I put a video out yesterday, so I gave you at least 16 or 17 hours to plan your Sunday around our chat. Yeah, Digwell, it did happen. Adam, it was insane. It was absolutely, I don't even know what to tell you. Last year was...
It was rough. Holy.
There was tons of positives that balanced things out, obviously.
But it was like roller coasters. Oh. There was like tons of highs, but then plummet down low.
And like same day, like within an hour, like, oh my God, everything's terrible, to like, oh, how many bags of that do you want? Oh,
there you go.
All right. Oh, hey, Nick, how's it going, buddy? We professional setup behind us. Yeah. When you're bored or you got to, take a loo break, Kev, you can go back and watch the beginning. I walked through and kind of talked about all the different stuff that we got started
Nick,
in here.
You keep popping up on my Facebook suggestions.
Yeah.
I should probably just add you at this point.
Yeah, Kaylin posted something, and then she got a like on it. She's like, who's this guy? And I'm like, oh, he's a Swedish friend of mine that's living in the Philippines. He's pretty cool.
He added me as a friend on Facebook.
Yeah. Nick is in the house. Nick is in the house. The chip butty? What in the love of light is that?
Oh.
All right. So yeah, I don't know. If you got any other questions, I can tell you stories about whatever, something, anything. Yeah, right. Willie and Digwell and I can all say we knew Nick back before he was famous. A French fry sandwich, Marie. Is that what that is? Is that a thing? Oh, I don't know that I'd like that. That's all like the same texture. Wouldn't it be kind of dry? I don't know. I don't know about this French fry sandwich of yours, Dickwell, or Nick, or who, or whoever is bastardizing food like that. Roast chicken, very nice. Yep, it's a thing. It's not dry with ketchup, right? Have a vat of gravy. Oh, we were in one of the little small towns that we do markets in. What were we doing? We were dropping off some of our sandwich boards to another vendor that just wanted to borrow them. And and I've always seen this little spot, Rogers, and it's a little drive in, right? I don't even think, can you go inside and eat there? Maybe they got 2 or 3 tables, but it's an old school drive in. That's it, right? Just burger joint type of thing. And so we stopped there and we got a burger. I got their daily special or what have you, fries and gravy. That has got to be the best gravy. I don't know if I want to say that I've ever had in my life, but in the last 10 years, I could have drank that stuff. It was so good. Everything is better with butter. I agree. I made some, it was late. We were all tired last night and we had like a half a loaf of bread from market. So I whipped up some French toast last night and Kaylin did some bacon. So that was our dinner, which we don't usually, eat that crappy. But speaking of everything's better with butter, it is. It is. You got a story from this year?
What kind of story?
I don't know. Tell us a story, Kaylin.
I don't know. Hold on. You can
put you on the spot.
Yeah. Don't mind.
Hey, Terry, how are you, buddy? Frank Coldwell's on. Nice. Sorry, what is this chip buddy? Chip buddy is as good as a fish finger, buddy. I could see that. Not that it's as good as, but like a fish finger sandwich, I could totally see that. Huh. I got to get over there and try some of that cuisine of yours one of these years. Bumblebee Junction, better with bacon. What is not better with bacon? I may ask. Everything rocks with bacon. You thinking of a story?
I'm trying.
Are you contributing at all?
No, but now you just mentioned bacon. I'm like, bacon's good on its own. Now I want bacon again. And we just had it last night.
It needs no garnish. It doesn't need to be added to anything else.
It's just good.
It's a standalone marvel. Real gravy is only made in Lancashire. UNESCO protected food status. Yeah, right? Nobody else is allowed to call it gravy.
I'm trying to think of a story.
Love the stories, fun times. We'll try and think of another one. Cloud 99 would like some other stories. I'm trying.
Did you tell another story then? I'm trying to think. My brain hurts.
Oh! We got a hater.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fun. That's a good story. Let's hear that story.
Yeah.
I hope he's watching.
Oh, we know he's not.
I hope he is. Tell that story.
Rob, Willie's not going over there without me, buddy. How many hours, Terry, how many hours do we both work per day? And do we get a day off? It's very fluid depending on the time of the year. Like yesterday, for example, I
came home at like 11, so.
Yeah. And then, so I had started probably around 7 in the morning, starting to prick out the herbs and pot them up into bigger things. And I kind of picked away at that and listened to some tunes, some swing dance music, and got busy doing that. Kaylin came home around 11. I just showed her, here's how you do it. So she did that behind me, and I worked on that video, which doesn't count as work, obviously, but on most normal days, I'm watering, I'm playing with microgreens. Usually around 7 in the morning, we'll head out to the farm, depending on what else has to happen around here. There's trays to wash. We'll get out to the farm. We get back. As the days get longer, we're staying out there longer. Obviously, like in the winter, we'd be home, 4:30, 5 o'clock, right as it starts getting dark. I would say out of the day, I mean, we probably put in a good 6-7 hours a day between us.
And then you also have to think about like going out and like making dinner for the family and stuff. Like that is work as well. So
yeah, and it's
taking care of the house,
yeah,
all of our animals.
Yeah, it's weird because a lot of times it's like, okay, all right, guys, let's get rocking and rolling. You're taking this person's mopping that, I'm sweeping and cleaning up and taking cardboard back. Like it's all sort of part and parcel. I mean, I know that a lot of it doesn't necessarily have to do directly with the farm, but
still a lot of work.
It has to happen or the farm doesn't keep ticking, right? So it's like if Kaylin and I are out busting ass, we did the harvest and we did the bagging and we went out to a market and all the rest of it, we come home and Riley's got, things looking pretty nice around here. There's a decent meal, rocking and rolling. I mean, just because she wasn't out at market, I mean, we don't look at that like she wasn't working, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. I mean, in the slow times of year, I'd say we put in 7 or 8 hours a day. I mean, I probably put in a little bit more. And then in the summer, it's, and the thing is though, I mean, I know it's work because it all has to happen, because if it doesn't happen, then we're not selling. But like, how in the hell do you consider growing work? Like, it's so awesome. It's fun. And I'll lose hours. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Well, I got to stop doing this, and because this and this needs to get done. But I don't know. I haven't been happier. I've never had work that I've enjoyed more.
Well, somebody asked me once things go back to normal, would I go back to my old job? And I was like, nope, you couldn't pay me enough to go back. I'm enjoying this as well.
Oh, Rob, we'll take a swing by Leicester for sure. I'll be sporting my Adam approved Aston Villa shirt. Tell me about Smoothie Down.
My smoothie?
Oh, yeah.
It has a bunch of ginger. It has lemon. It has chia seeds, hemp hearts, and flax seeds. And then it's a mixture of blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries.
You can tell you're smashing your smoothie story.
Oh, yeah.
We'll find something else to talk about.
Decided to go to a market one day. That was fun. Dad's rushing me out the door, even though he's the procrastinator, not me.
Hey, I'm standing right here.
I know. I go to make a smoothie and make it, and it's like full to the brim. I'm so excited. It's going to be like 8 hours till I get home. Probably smoothie is the only thing I'm going to eat unless I crack open a bag of cucumbers. And we get out to the truck. Everything's all loaded. And instead of saving my metal water bottle, I decided to drop my glass of smoothie. Shatters everywhere. I barely even had a sip. It was quite honestly very tragic, and I'm very sad about it. There's still remnants of it on the sidewalk. Just the color, not the glass. We swept it up.
It was a funny start to my day.
Yeah, no, it was great, because then he had to deal with hangry KK all day. It was fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What else did you learn this year?
I learned that you're a pain in the ass.
How so?
Let's not get into that. Gardening on a water budget.
What's the question?
Gardening on a water budget.
Hey, who is drinking what right now? Will isn't an IPA. I'm on a classic near beer. It's not really near beer, but whatever. been 4.5 months I haven't been drinking. So
I'm still on a smoothie.
one day, someday. But for this year, nah. Gonna rock this farm as absolutely hard as I can with as clear a head as I can, and I'll have a near beer or 3 when I get home. Tastes close enough, I guess. Does any gardener have a day off? No, Diggy. And does any gardener really want a day off? Like, do you really want a day where I don't look at my plants at all? I don't check any of them to see if there's a new set of growth coming out. I don't check the water. I don't turn the lights on or off. I don't go tell them stories. Nothing. I don't know if any gardener actually wants a day like that.
Oh, and actually, it has buckwheat microgreens in my smoothie too. By the way.
Buckwheat.
By the by.
Little Farmer's Farm. I look relaxed and healthy. Thanks, bud. And I will say that, and this will be astonishing to some of you. Some of you, this will be news. Others of you will wonder why I'm so slow. But apparently, when you deal with some depression, you shouldn't add depressants to your system. Who knew? Who knew? Yeah, I was just getting to the point, man, where I just wasn't happy enough to drink anymore. Because then one turned into like 1,000, right? So I'm glad that you say that I, looking relaxed and healthier, because I'm starting to feel it. So whatever, we're gonna give her shit this year and see what happens. So our vibe is contagious. Oh, well, thank you. The smoothie sounded good. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it did. The sidewalk loved it.
That was so sad. And that was like the last of the bag of fruit I had. So it was really tragic.
Rob, we'd have 3 different shirts on. Hey, buddy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what to wear over there so I don't get beat up. Kev, you got a question. Is it true you were once a body double from Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada? I think you're thinking of Sharon Stone. I did that scene. That was me. I did the leg cross scene.
Everybody stop hyping up his ego. Jeez.
No, that's okay. It holds a lot of air. Oh, yeah, Willie. Keep whining, buddy. Oh, Digwell bought a new blender just to do smoothies.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He wants some recipes.
Absolutely. I will definitely give them to you then.
You hear me, Marie? I'm not sure about what, but hey, Southpaw, how you doing, buddy? How's your mother-in-law? I hope everything's well with her. Man, I laughed the other day when you were like, we got to go and see the olds, right? Because everyone says they got to go and see the littles. I hadn't really heard of the other side of that before, so that's pretty funny. The leg cross should be my new thumbnail. I know, right? Exactly. What's the other side of the emoji, emoticon? I don't know. Digwell says you're a star.
I am.
So don't drop the ball and not send him any smoothie recipes.
All right. No smoothie recipes for you then.
She's good? Okay, cool, Davey. Never, whatever. Not fun. Not fun when family's unwell. That's for sure. So what else is going on with everybody? I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, I haven't told you guys about our heater.
Oh, yeah. That's a good story, though.
So back when I started doing microgreens, so rewind 15 or 16 months ago when I started doing microgreens, I had said earlier that I was chasing every market that I could because there's really not many markets around here that's not in the summer. And one of them was in this town, Camrose, and it's a ways away, right? An hour and 20 minutes away. And so I went there every week, snow, cold, brought Willie out there. They had the market in the Augusta campus, University of Augustana out there, which is an absolutely gorgeous venue. It's like 3-story high glass windows that slowly curve around this area, and all the tables were set up inside there. So even on a cloudy day, it was beautiful in there. And I really started building a nice following and teaching people about microgreens. And this was pre-COVID. So I could reach over and go, here, try this. And they would take it from my hand and put it in their mouth. That seems like about a decade ago that anybody would even think about doing that. But anyway, I built up. And I remember the market manager came up to me one day and he's like, this is the French raw chef. We carry his vegan products. He's the market manager out there. And he comes up to me and he says, oh, your competition's here today. Francois says to me, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, cool. Right. Like I don't know who my competition is. And to be honest with you, I don't really care. I got my microgreens here. They're looking hot. I'm ready to sell. It doesn't matter if somebody else is there selling the same thing as me. Right. It does not to me whatsoever. So I go on and just go ahead and do my thing. Like I'm the guy that will annoy some other vendors because I don't do the markets the way they do them. I don't sit down at market. I don't sit there on my phone behind my table until somebody comes up and says, excuse me, sir, may I purchase your items? I'm the person, I always have music playing at market. It'll be some swing music or something easy listing or some oldies or things that our customer base is going to like and hum along to or sing along to, right? So I got my speaker going. I'm standing out in front of the table and I'm talking to people and microgreens and here free samples and free deliveries to houses. And I'm just talking to people, right? And the other microgreen fella, it's not really how he does things, right? And so this guy's been around for 4 or 5 years, and I think he got tired of watching me do well at market. And I never really gave the guy too much of a second thought. And then, so this year, we're back out in Camrose at the winter market. I made a mistake and I didn't continue to do Camrose. I did their winter markets. And then I started thinking that everything that was around our little town, like we did 7 markets a week just around our little town versus going out to Camrose. And the mistake I made was that I sold a lot of microgreens and I built a pretty nice following that was coming every single week. And then they didn't see me in the summer. So going back in the winter, it's sort of kind of rebuilding that stuff. But anyway, so I go back in the winter, and I told you earlier that I was going out and I was dropping off microgreens trays to restaurants and talking with chefs and landed a couple of restaurants. Yeah, absolutely. The one, if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see that we support the Burrow restaurant in Camrose quite a bit, and you should check out their Facebook page and their Instagram. It's like this is fine dining if it was in a large city, let alone in a small farming town. And absolute pleasure to work with people that really care about what they're doing. He cares as much about his food that he creates and serves to customers as I care about my microgreens. And that's nice. So we built an awesome relationship right off the bat. And of course, have you ever used microgreens before? Oh, yep, you betcha. I'm from Ontario, a far higher population base than here. We used to use them all the time back there, and we were using them out here. And I was like, oh yeah, who are you using them from? And he tells me the name of my competitor. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I didn't really say anything more about it, but he shared the reasons why he wasn't dealing with this person anymore. I mean, just stop coming by, stop dropping off the orders, 3 months, no call, no text, no contact, no nothing. So he's thinking, okay, well, I don't have a supplier anymore. And we happen to fill that little void, if you will. Well, anyway, we've built a really good relationship with them. They're absolutely wonderful people.
Yeah, they're awesome.
We go in there to drop off microgreens, and we end up just shooting the shit. And
you have to leave like 45 minutes early just to go have
a
pitch.
Oh yeah, we spend 45 minutes to an hour with them. Seems like about a 5-minute conversation. It's just awesome.
They give us little tasters of stuff that they created, like they're like the black rice.
Yeah, the black rice and
stuff like they did like a chili powder or.
So anyway, I walk in there one day, I got my trays and how's everybody doing? And I drop them off, and he says, oh, have you seen Instagram? And I'm like, no, why? What? And he's like, oh, I don't think your competitor is very happy with you. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, your competitor just put out a video that's pretty much whining about you for 10 minutes. And so whatever, we watched it and it was I don't know what to say. I mean, it was comical. Like this person stealing all my customers and blah blah blah.
Foot in mouth.
And then even admits, like, I was away for 3 months and I maybe didn't contact everybody that I should have, but essentially nobody else has a right to take my business. And I watched it and I just, okay, well, that's nice. And I just focused on me. Just focused on me. I'm not focused on anybody else. The only thing that I can control is moi. So, I don't know, whatever. It's not like I responded or reached out to the guy or anything like that. And just this last week, no, so it was 2 weeks ago. I'm at market and I look up and I'm like, oh, my competitor's there. But he doesn't pay for a table or anything. He's just, kind of walking around giving out free samples to the other vendors and everything. And I'm beside the market manager. So, I mean, I hear the conversation and the sales pitch and the whatever, all the rest of his line of hooey and what have you. He treats me like a chair. He doesn't even look at me. Ends up walking by, talks to every vendor in there, hands out his free samples and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of laughed. Right, I'm the one at market. I'm the one dealing with customers, making some money instead of they're just giving it all away. And okay, no, whatever, no big deal. I could care less. So the following week, which would have been just this past week, I go in to drop off microgreens again at this restaurant and, oh, you're a star again. And I'm like, another video? And he's like, yep, this one's 12 minutes long. And I'm like, oh, are you? Come on, man. Seriously? And so I did
a hobby.
Right? Man. Adopt a dog, learn another language, pick up a guitar, like leave me alone, buddy. So anyway, watch that video. And again, it's just this, like, just whining. I mean, the issue was that I sell things in live containers. And that's an angle that I've been pushing. And it's an angle that I've been talking to customers about. And as an experiment for like 4 weeks, I gave customers the option. Pull it out and I'd show them, look, here's the living container. Okay. The roots are coming out of the bottom. You just need to sit it in water for about 20 seconds a day and then just leave it under the lights or in a window or what have you. And it's always going to be fresh and living for you. Would you like it living or would you like me to cut it and put it in a bag? And 9 out of 10 people told me, wow, I'll take the living thing. So I was like, okay, there's some legs to this. So, whatever. At the end of the day, his video, his first like 6 minutes was just ragging on live trays and talking about how chefs have gone to school for 6 or 7 years and they don't need to learn how to water trays and cut microgreens properly.
Job to do it.
And I'm like, dude, could you be more insulting to chefs? You're not quite trained enough, sir, to cut your own, broccoli microgreens. I was like, holy shit, dude. Go keep opening your mouth, man. I just don't know how much more room for your feet you have in there. So he goes through this entire list of reasons why living trays suck and why he doesn't want to do them.
Can we see the video?
But some of the customers have been requesting them.
Gardeners, no, but chefs know how to use scissors.
Yeah. Like, I mean, come on. At the end of the day, all chefs, they might not know how to grow the stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm giving it to them growing at the perfect time. All they got to do is go snip, snip, snip.
Yeah.
Like if, Aunt Mabel that buys them from me at market can figure it out, I'm next to positive that a chef's got this on lockdown. So, so again, he's, he whines about the living trays and there could be mold issues and well, some of my customers have actually asked for them. So I'm now providing living trays as well. And you can get them from me and you can just call me. And I was like, all right, bro, no, whatever, man. Copy everything I do. Do everything I do. And maybe your business will be a little bit better. So can we see the video? I don't trust you folks. You're going to go there and give this guy a hard time, which he deserves. But at the end of the day,
Try to avoid conflict.
he can give somebody enough rope, they'll hang themselves. I will guarantee that he's not as friendly with folks. He's nowhere near as honest. He certainly isn't consistent with his, with $1,000, $1,200 a month customers. He's not consistent with them. So I'll take what we have. I'll stay in my lane. There's no way this dude's willing to work as hard as I am. There's absolutely no way. So it's not. Yeah, I don't know. He isn't anything to me besides a bit of a laugh. Yes, Terry, absolutely. At the end of the day, everybody wants to do the right thing. And if they know what the right thing is, then it's really easy to do. So when I let people know that when you're done with that tray, please bring it back and do me a favor, like leave the soil in it, leave the roots in it. I will compost that. That will go right back into, like, if you watched the greenhouse video, this last one, that's going to go right back into the soil. That's going to grow more produce down the way. So at the end of the day, yeah, Terry, I'll have people that forget for a couple of weeks and then come in with a stack of them for me. It's all good. It's all good. Rob, was he buying his from the supermarket and selling them on? Yeah, I don't know. It's
kind of looked like but then he went, and I said in this live stream today, my sister is a brilliant photographer and she's been doing an amazing job. In one of his videos, he had mentioned how that we Photoshop everything.
Those pictures aren't real. When you see pictures from me, they're not going to be all doctored up. Those colors aren't.
And on his Instagram, his pictures look like trash. And that's not me being shady. It's just honest.
Yeah,
they don't look good.
So he took a side-handed swipe at my oldest, which that's just not something that you should be doing.
On my little bigger sister.
Yeah, no, she. Yeah, the funny thing is, he only knows me, right? He'll show up at market sometime, and these two will be working, and oh boy, I feel sorry for him. Need a link. Oh God.
Why did we open this can?
No, I don't. Stu, I can't see how this is going to end well for me. Somebody's going to go on there and just start.
Be like, but this little arms.
Yeah.
We're here as their supporters.
Because
destroy you.
Our channel is still like a little dirt never hurts. So that's just whatever my gardening addiction. Willie and I were talking about it the other day, and actually I'll ask y'all's opinion about my channel. Willie was saying that with the business getting serious and looking to get to that next level, should I switch A Little Dirt Never Hurt to Thistle Hill Farms, or should I just keep A Little Dirt Never Hurt as like when I want to change the words to a song, right? I get in one of those moods, and just start up a new channel, Thistle Hill Farms. Like I finally qualified for making those sweet YouTube pennies. But I don't really care. I didn't set up A Little Dirt Never Hurt to be, the monetized role model channel. So if I make a couple of bucks, because I have one video where I teach people how to keep your cucumbers crunchy, and I rammed as many sexual innuendos in that video as I could. And for some reason, that'll make me a couple of bucks. And other than that, there's no point in me necessarily keeping this channel, or, I don't know. I guess I'm just asking, start a new one, in your opinion, Jay Harrison. Okay. Catherine Ivy, what'd you miss? Okay. Well, hold on a second. I'll quickly repeat the last hour in 24 minutes.
It's the best name for a channel. Keep it.
Okay, Benny. Yeah, I was thinking if I started up a channel like Thistle Hill Farms or The New Farmer or something else that's totally separate, I was thinking that I'd just keep A Little Dirt Never Hurt. There's always stuff in the food forest, and there's stuff I can do on there.
Like content that you could put on the one channel and then also the other channel as well. So.
Oh, thanks, Karen. Karen in Saskatchewan. I like the channel the way it is. Well, I appreciate that. And again, I'm not.
People are going to keep it.
No part of me And
then
start a
start
separate
another
one for the
yeah.
business. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Sorry, I have bad eyesight.
Yeah, right.
Like,
What? Do the farm on a little
exactly,
dirt,
KK.
make
Yeah,
another
so
channel
like
for the nutty
different
stuff.
content on both channels. I think.
Yeah,
is a
I
smart
mean,
idea.
with the amount of content I put out, it shouldn't be tough to divide that in two.
Well, I think we're gonna definitely pump out more content this year than we certainly did last year.
Okay, fair enough, Marie. Hey, Willie. Behave.
The micro man. Dirty Ryan.
With Dirty Ryan.
Yes, keep it.
Yeah. That's funny. Okay. All right. All right. You know what? Listen, guys, at the end of the day, I did have somebody say to me recently that, your plan was to make a bunch of money on YouTube. And I was kind of like, what? What? I don't follow any of the
You just like making videos.
the typical rules to try and get your channel structured like that. And I enjoy the fact that I'll make whatever I want. If I want to make an absolutely crap video with terrible singing and cheeseball words to a song, I'm gonna.
Well,
I'm gonna
Dad
do it.
doesn't actually have an Instagram for his A Little Dirt Never Hurt. We just have one for Thistle Hill Farms.
Yeah, again on other social media, it's all
Facebook
Thistle
as
Hill
well.
Farms.
So it would just be the YouTube aspect of that.
More content.
More content. Yeah, we're trying.
We'll try. We'll try. I don't. Yeah, it's not a being down thing, which a lot of times in the past, if I take a break for months at a time, I'm not, I don't, not here to bring anybody down. You know what I mean? So if having a positive attitude and having some energy and all the rest of it, to me, that's, at least contributing something, if not good content. So, but now in this last while, it's just been that we've been so busy. And I know it doesn't seem like much, but okay, stop in here. Okay, hold on a second. Where's going to be the best angle? And just trying to think about little things like that. I get super focused on what we're doing. And it's put the poly on day. And, the farmer's willing to, well, I've only been doing this 45 years. If you guys want a hand, I'll show you a few tips and tricks. We're like, what? Sure. We're setting up ladders. The last thing on my mind was, which is the best angle, and then trying to come across something else that's a pet peeve of mine. Like, it pisses me off. And I get it, man. Everybody that's on YouTube would like a little attention and all the rest of it. But how-to videos, when people are doing it for the first time, they can just go pound sand. I can't stand it when somebody comes across like they know what they're doing when they clearly don't. And that's the category I'm in when it comes to farming. I'm not going to put any videos out on how-to. I'm not even sure how to. Doesn't matter. The channel title is just a name. You're now doing more cooking vids than growing, but people don't search for me. They search for the content. Yeah. And I think that has a lot to do with the video title and how your tags are going into it too. Right. I mean, they're not looking for Digwell Green Fingers. What did he cook today? But if you're doing a flan, whoever's looking for that is going to search that. Right. Remember, there's only 24 hours in a day. Don't overdo it. I appreciate that, Rob. I really do. You know what I mean? I do. I'm in a situation where, I don't want to overdo it, but I want to work as hard as I can so that this has a chance to continue to grow, because the girls have goals too. Down the road, we would, we've talked a lot about having a little restaurant, right? And, that uses all the fresh produce. And like, there's other things that we want to do that if the farm is doing really well, then we'll be able to. And my back isn't getting any younger. I'm going to put in 110% while I can.
I think Thistle Hill Grill is a solid name.
Thistle Hill Grill.
Just saying.
Yeehaw.
Trademark.
Roadkill Cafe. Straight from our grill to yours. Woo. You'll be 150 years old before you get paid. Yeah, okay, Rob, right? Always thinking of dragging it out, or like halfway through something. Oh man, this would make a great video, but I kind of need the first 5 things that I did to make the great video. Camera stays in the truck.
Well, it's not like we're not paying our mortgage on YouTube.
Okay, Digwell, enjoy
nailed
your pot noodles. I'm assuming those are made out of marijuana. It's all I can. Probably a French fry sandwich. Take care. Thanks for popping in, Diggy.
Oh, people like my name.
People like your name, Thistle Hill Grill. Yeah. Thistle Hill Grill rocks. Adam, you've been on YouTube for years and making crumbs from the table, zero cash. I just love gardening, messing around with making videos. You make some of the best videos. Your stuff is so incredibly watchable. Speaking of, taking the time to put the camera here, walk 3 kilometers past it.
Move it and walk back.
Yeah, right? So good on you, bud. You know, your stuff is incredibly watchable. Thanks, Vicky. It is a good name for a grill.
I know.
Don't forget the smoothie recipes.
I won't.
Okay, I'll get her on that. Harry Paul Dean, how you doing? Did I miss anything else here? Kevin said if you don't have some sort of an ad blocker on your device, the amount of adverts on a normal video makes you turn them off. Yeah, you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that because I noticed when I first got, you can put ads on. I was like, okay, put ads on then. The amount of views that I had dropped by 100. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, people don't love watching ads.
Oh, well, you know what? And listen, that's fair enough. I've been fairly quiet in the comment side of things on YouTube in the last while. I still watch a lot of the videos that you folks put out. I can't say I watch every one of them because we're busy. But when I'm in here and I'm doing seeding and that type of thing, I'll have it sitting up on one of the racks and I'll have your video on and I'm playing around. I'm filling trays, I'm tamping stuff down, I'm seeding, running up, I'm watering. At the end of the video, it's like take my knuckle, I click on to another video. So like I say, I haven't been commenting a ton. But I get that, man. I get that, and I really noticed the ads when I started watching YouTube that way, more listening to it, because I'd be busy in here, and I'd be listening to somebody and they're doing this and that. And, and then all of a sudden it's a commercial. I got to stop what I'm doing. If it's one of those that drags on for 3 minutes or what have you, stop what I'm doing, clean my hands off, go over and skip just to keep watching the video. I don't have to put vids on or ads on the vids, Kev. I don't make sweet F all anyway. So, I don't, whatever. I don't care. I mean, that one, yeah, there's a true potato seed video that does, fairly consistently 40 or 50 views a day. And then that crunchy pickle one. But yeah, again, I don't honestly really care. What have I missed here? Missed a few things. Fill up that Stella, buddy. Oh, hey, Jason, how you doing? You don't think my previous messages went through, but wishing you the best of luck with everything in any case, Ryan.
You know what's a good look?
What?
Is reading the comments.
I know, right?
Like you see your face in the little doot-doot.
Anything in my teeth and nose hairs just poking out. Oh, what does it say there? Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it. And I'm not previous messages. I don't know if that was on this chat or if you emailed me. If any of you really want to get in touch with me, the Thistle Hill Farms email, I mean, it's coming up on everybody's phones type of thing. So, but thank you for the well wishes. And I hope your homestead, keeps growing and improving. I see you learning every year, trying different things, different animals that you're raising. And, that's what life's about, right? I mean, the more you do something, the more you're going to learn. So can see it now. Thistle Hill Grill menus with info about Thistle Hill Farms on the back, saying how you grew the veg and microgreens. Right? Yeah. Well, really what I
think I called that one.
Yeah. What I kind of was hoping for with that concept, if you will, is like a very, very, very obvious and direct link of farm to table. And On top of that, turning it into not just maybe the stuff that the average, person cooks at home, like maybe like a step up type of thing, just to show people what you can do with incredibly fresh veg. Mio, how are you? You got the premium because honestly, you don't watch much normal TV, and having 10-minute ads in between 5-minute videos was driving me bonkers. Yeah, totally right. That's another way you can go about it, right? But again, it is, I am in the gardening community, and gardeners are notoriously tight. So I don't know how many people, well, I don't know. Does who on here pays for premium so that they can watch or listen to whatever music they want on YouTube without getting those ads? Because from what I heard, the money that they pay for their premium subscription, I heard more of that actually goes to creators than if it was just ads. I don't know anything. Our daughters could test out the grill idea with a food truck a few days a week. If there was a reasonably priced food truck, we've got the
Hands
markets.
down, yeah.
Yeah, we got the markets for that easily. Karen, Saskatchewan. If the ads are under a minute, I'll watch anything unless it's as annoying as funny. Yeah. Well, I think everybody's got their thresholds. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I mean, you can sleep well at night knowing that I'm not going out and buying beer, right? Like any stack of pennies that happens to get generated from that will just be going to, new drip line out at the farm, or that little jacuzzi pump, or.
Mile got a freaking ad for 30 minutes.
On one of my vids? How do you set that? I'm going to have to ask somebody. Oh my. If that was mine, I apologize. 30-minute long. I mean, unless it was literally me doing the infomercial, it slices, it dices, it makes your garlic spread like butter.
Just make a 30-minute video then.
Nobody watches my 30-minute videos. They ain't watching a 30-minute ad. Food truck at markets. Yeah, Vicky and Jay Harrison. There are.
Food truck.
Yeah, those things tend to run, the 40, 50 grand around here. But
I have $5.
So we're just a little
So
short.
close.
That's okay. But we do go to markets that have food trucks there, and oh man, you got a decent. You put out some decent food, and oh my stars, man, the lineup at those.
Crazy.
And
it brings in so much traffic as well. Food trucks are a great idea at markets.
Even if we just had some nice, brioche buns, a couple of industrial-sized panini presses, and some fresh veg, I mean, I'm sure we could rock something out. But you know what? That ain't my thing. I'm growing the food. If that's something that they decide to do, then they'll decide to do that. Little Farmer's Farm. You monetize yours in November when you've been out of work due to COVID and only made about 10 pounds a week. But it helped out. Yeah. Hey man, listen, if I found 10 pounds a week, I wouldn't just leave it. It's not worth my time to bend over. I get it. But at the same time, that's not whatever. I don't structure my channel like that to make money. I mean, it would be every Wednesday at a certain time, and everything would be the same. There'd be no shout outs. There would be no talking about people in a very, very small community. It would be aimed at the gardening community as a whole. And I whatever. I like this little part of the YouTube world that I've become friends with. What did I miss? Food truck at markets. Yeah. Okay. Slogan for the new restaurant: a little dirt never hurt. Eat my food. It'll make your butt spurt. I would like to think, Kev, that you aren't in marketing.
Because that's not a great grab.
Yeah. That is a little. That isn't. That's not a catchy jingle.
It's funny, but not great.
Leave the ads on. I watch one ad per video for people whom I'm subscribed. Okay.
That's nice.
Like I say, everybody's got their own rules about that,
and
hey?
opinions, yep.
I jumped up here to somewhere. Where did I jump up to? Okay, so not one of my videos. Okay, thank goodness. A half hour. Like, how can you tell your viewers, I don't respect you? Watch this half hour ad.
Like,
yeah.
Take that.
Some of the adverts are very random. I'm fed up with the woman who sets her business on. Yeah, right. Hi, I'm going to show you how to make a website. Click here. Like those. It's like again and again and again.
They're weird.
Cheshire
algorithms.
Homestead. What up? Then you have to give out the recipe and send them in to buy the veg to make it at home.
Oh
right?
yeah, that wouldn't be too hard to type up. Riley's good at that.
Yeah, I'm sure we could do that. Hey, Arkansas, how you doing? Southpaw. I always said the market,
My eyes feel strange.
the food van makes the money. Yeah, and you know that's great and everything. It's the sugary stuff, like the absolute crap, white refined sugar, white flour, like those type of treat type trucks. They just line up. They just line up for them. And then, I mean, I'm sitting over there like, oh yeah, healthy microgreens over here.
Buy a cucumber.
Oh yeah. Kale goes with ice cream. That's what I tell everybody. Just saying, if you turned on your super chat,
And plus, kale
Some
chips
of
are
us
amazing. So
might be able to drop a few quid towards you getting a food truck deposit on a restaurant. That's very kind of you, Stu. That's kind of you. I'll have to look into that. I don't even know what a super chat is. There was an advert on yesterday about how getting a bride from some country. Okay. Which country?
lovely.
What is the cost of
What
said?
does she look like?
Yeah, little things that, you know, are very, very important in a transaction such as that. Is shipping included? Do they put air holes in the package? Is that human trafficking? What type of cuisine? I mean, am I going to have a flaming ring of fire for the next 15 years? Not sure how that would go. And is it a catalog? Like,
like, do I get to choose?
And at what point do I lose all self-confidence in finding true love when I just start picking them out of a magazine? I mean, it's not a seed catalog. Oh, wow.
Basil this week.
That variety looks nice.
And is there a return policy?
Exactly. What do you mean I'm stuck with this? You kidding me? Too funny. Marie, you gotta go. Okay, thanks for sticking around, Marie. Appreciate your time, my friend. We'll chat again soon. Doesn't YouTube pick the ads? Yeah, I'm assuming they do because I sure as heck don't. Let's see here. Oh, your kids like bison sausages that are at the Cochrane Farmers Market. I am a huge fan of bison. I've never been to the Cochrane Market. But bison, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's the genetically like a small difference in the fat compared to beef, or that it's so much less in fat. But bison, my body feels happy after bison and does not typically feel happy after just typical grocery store beef. Not a positive for me. Bison rocks.
Yeah.
But Cochrane Market. I bet you that's a good one.
We don't really eat, obviously, a lot of bison because it's not very.
I really do want to find a bison provider so that we can offer that to our customers as well.
We never eat ground beef either. Like it's ground turkey or ground chicken.
Claude, awesome. How you doing, buddy? Hello, you guys.
Hello.
The food truck sells them. Oh, well, I mean, food trucks. Food trucks make they bring all the boys to the yard. Little Farmer's Fard, you got a foreign bride too? She was from Bolton. Okay. Smoothie truck. Exactly. In like unbreakable plastic containers.
Well, then I'm going to need some more.
Just bounces right back up into your hand. More of a natural product. Most cows are not Franken cows, which is just scary. Yeah, at our old farm, we always had to drive past a little feedlot. And, you could see what they stand in, day after day. They move about, 18 feet a day. Lay down in their own shit. They're eating, right close to it as well. It's just, I don't know. There's not a whole huge part of my brain that thinks that's going to taste good. Maybe it's a psychological thing, or maybe you're right there, Blue. And maybe they are Franken cows. It's a good market. Check with Red Deer.
Lake Meat south of Calgary also sells it. There's also bison and elk farm near there too. Very cool. Always appreciate advice from a fellow Albertan. Um, we do have a few bison folks around here. My challenge, honestly, we've been really thinking about adding a meat provider, local meat provider, chemical free, hormone free, all that kind of stuff, um, to our website and to our store or whatever you want to call it, and offer it out. But we would need more freezers than what we have to properly store it, because typically what happens, we get our orders in, we tabulate them and do like a little sales inventory, right? And then I get in touch with said suppliers so that we're not stocking tons of stuff around here, because as much as it's a good idea and it's given me a lot of variety on what we're able to offer people, it's still business, right? So if you want to get $300 worth of something from somebody, you could turn into $400 or $450. You still have to give them $300 to get that. And it's a little different in the summer, spring, summer, when things are rocking and rolling and the garden's growing and shit be happening. Like, this is winter, and chasing markets that are a long ways away and much, much, much slower traffic at markets means less money coming in. So, for a couple of reasons, I've held off on the meat thing, but I would not be surprised if I can find a local provider around here. Sorry, Cav. Question that you never answered earlier. Rolls his eyes emoji. Oh my God, Cav, grow up. My new plot details, please. Size, soil type, problems, distance from the house, etc. The plot is, the farmer and I went and took a tape measure out and measured out my area, and it is 125 feet by 85 feet, 80 feet. And then I also have the greenhouse, which is 14 feet by 80. So my growing area is going to be a schmiggle over 10,000 square feet. Boo yaka. Very, very excited about that. Soil, I have not done a soil test on it, so I will not speak out of my arse on that. The farmer that I'm on now, I met him last year and I started carrying his products, and we kind of hit it off right away. I mean, we would both talk about certain things that maybe not every grower talks about, or not everyone that I've run into. We talked about things like soil biology, and we talked about no-till methods, because we both cared about the soil food web. We've talked about the benefits, how to make biochar. He talked to me about how he grew his tomatoes and why he thinks his tomatoes are the most flavorful. In his great big greenhouse, he's got a couple or 3 or 4 rows in there for his tomatoes. So basically what he does is he hand digs that out down 2 or 3 feet in the fall, gets the plants out, digs down, and then he gets a foot or a foot and a half worth of manure. He puts that in the bottom. Then he puts some compost and vermicompost on top of that, and then he puts the soil back in. So he does grow tomatoes in a greenhouse, but they're in the ground. They're not hydroponic. And I'm not bagging on hydroponic at all, but there is a romantic factor to feeding the soil and then having that produce unbelievable plants for you. And that's something that it's just something that I'm attracted to. So in the last 5 years since he has converted that from sort of a pasture area, he has continuously hit it with huge amounts of organic material. He will cultivate it very, very deep. He doesn't turn the soil over. It's got biochar in there. All the field scraps go in. And, I went out last year for a tour when I was just purchasing veg from him, and it was a thing of ever-loving beauty. It was just healthy plants as far as you could see. And I'm excited. I don't know what type of soil it is, Kevin, and I asked him if he had a soil test, and he hasn't. But what was the other part of your question there? Size, soil type, problems. There has been no problems as of yet. I will say that our growing area, the 125 by 80 foot chunk, it's a couple 300 feet away from where our harvest washing station, shelter, hut, tool storage, whatever the heck I'm calling it today. So I think we're going to need to work out something with carts, rolling carts, something like that. I know the farmer uses one of those little side by side
Little razor thing.
Razor, Rhino, little ATV unit. If I can find a cheap used one of those, then I'll look into that. But I don't foresee any problems really, besides possible pest issues. Distance from our house. What are we looking at? 20K, 15K,
Yeah.
15, 20K from the house. Which I know when I first got started, I was like, oh my god, that's a long ways to go to a garden. It is a long ways to go to a garden. It's not very long to go to a farm, and there is a difference there. Nick, how you doing, Nick Fusco? Hope you and the wife are well. When are we getting another video from William? Exactly, right? William. The crowd has spoken, Willie.
Time to step up and post.
Our live feed picture quality is fantastic. What camera are you rocking? I'm rocking a computer, just a Mac.
But maybe they're asking for a video? Just
No, the live feed picture quality is great, and which is just this camera.
Yeah,
Little MacBook. Feed the soil. You know what, Stu? When you take care of that, it will take care of everything else. And this, like for a lot of you guys that know me, you know that I'm not, and I'm not looking down on it. We don't need to get into a discussion about it. I don't happen to be an overly religious person. A lot of my friends are, and this farmer is a very religious individual. And we have a lot of discussions where God in his context equals nature in mine. And we can have some really, really good conversations about that and feeding the soil and the way the whole system was set up to be bountiful, right? I mean, in his eyes, whatever, nature, God provides. And when you help take care of that and facilitate that cycle, you're going to get a big amount of abundance out of that, right?
Hi, Kay. Hi.
Did I miss? Do you think it's the fungal associations that make the difference in taste? Oh, that's good. He's got to be asking somebody else.
So you see the look of the reading.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Kev, you been drinking again, dude? You're getting your messages deleted. Either that or Coleman's just playing with you. Oh, Chelin says hi. Chelin. Say hi to her for me as well. It's nice to see you folks on. Oh, bye, Terry. Sorry, guys. He's
slacking.
Yeah, I'm not not doing well on the comments. Fungal association makes. I'm really curious what that question is in regards to. I love talking about fungal versus bacterial content because
that's riveting.
Yeah, I know. You probably talk about it with all your friend too. All right,
friend. Thanks.
Dig or no dig? Prefer digging the soil for you. Get to know what you're messing with. I can respect that. I can respect that. Like there's, that's one of the reasons why I don't use gloves. Like even when I'm potting things up and stuff, I don't use gloves. A little dirt never hurt. I want to feel the soil. I want to feel how moist it is, how dry it is. I want to feel if there's bits of sticks in there that, maybe I want out. I want to know what's going on. So I do get that, that philosophy with the digging. I think I am going to get myself a broad fork so that I can enter the soil and loosen it up so that air and moisture can get in there. And that will still give me a feel of what's going on. The more the more like I've been geeking out over like soil biology for I don't know 6 or 7 years now, and I get it. It's really, really tough to take something that's environment is 6 inches below the surface and put it on the top and expect it to do well. So each to their own. I don't think that there is any one right way to grow. I think there's a whole bunch of different right ways. Yeah, Arky, you could have a point there, hey, because there really is no fungal content in a hydroponic system. It's just strictly liquid chemical fertilizer or organic, but it's the NPK and some of the micronutrients that are going in there. So, I was thinking about the soil and the fungal versus bacterial levels, and most gardens are a 1-to-1 for soil and fungus. In permaculture, the edge in between a forest and like flatlands, that edge in there is the most biodiverse, and that's somewhere in and around 100-to-1 for fungal to bacterial, and then a forest is 1,000-to-1. So I've often wondered if we don't worry far more about the bacterial and making compost teas and feeding things with molasses so that the bacteria have a diet. Those are all good, but if we don't have a certain amount of fungal activity going on in our soil, I think that's a concern. So that you may be onto something there. That could be exactly why hydroponic grown tomatoes have often been said to have not as much flavor as one grown in the ground. Oh God, Willie tried to do something as a joke and he's now been timed out, Kevin. Oh boy,
That's rude.
You're starting it here, Willie. Terry's just put up a video. All right. Okay, we're cutting it short. Let's all go watch Terry's video. I'll watch it later. All right. She's trying to log in on her iPad, but can't get the chat part. She told me this one other time. Anytime I do a live, her computer won't work or it just isn't in the mood. Okay, sorry, where am I at? No, Willie, you can't undo a timeout. Kevin, when you come back, I'll give you a spanner so you can time out Willie. Can admins time each other out just out of curiosity? Nick, time out Willie. Let's see if that works. Broad fork. I think they prefer to be called a chick fork. I know. I'm antiquated in my terminology. I really need to, and especially right after International Women's Day. Look at me being a sexist bastard.
Rude. I can't read any of that. Too far away.
Okay. Just carving a chicken. Is that what you call it now, Davey? Hey? No dig does rule. Yeah, it's fantastic. It lets nature do what it wants to do. When you watch stuff like Charles Dowding, and some of the other super popular gardening channels, and you watch what they've done year after year after year with no dig, and it's not a fluke. It's not a one-off. It's not just a good year. It isn't. It isn't anymore. And something too that I've learned from getting into the farming game is, you've only got so much time, right? I mean, Rob, you'd said it before, right? Only 24 hours in a day. There's only so much time. You need to try and make things as efficient as possible. And weeding takes a lot of time. When you're turning soil over all the time, you're exposing all those weed seeds that have been lying there dormant for 10 years up to the surface to germinate. So if more of a no-dig approach would allow me to weed less, I'm in. Yeah, the biology will move along as long as it has food. Feed your soil will feed your plants. When you were done your warm season crops in the greenhouse, you'll need to throw down some spinach. About a month ago, you found spinach sprouting in yours and tossed in some more seeds. Okay, so yeah, so basically what I'm going to be
I had a friend, his name was Spencer the Spinach.
right, Spencer the Spinach came back from last year.
Little Spenny.
So I had like 2 rows, not from last year, the year before. We had a couple of rows of spinach, and I think I had them 7 or 9 rows in a bed. I had lots of them. And one spinach came back over the winter, and that thing was massive. It was like a 3 foot by 3 foot mamma jamma. What I'm gonna be doing here, I think next week we've got the beds covered in the floating row cover, just to keep the soil warm, and hopefully we can get some weed seeds to germinate, so we can kill those little bastards and then and get seed out. So we got 4 beds. So I'm gonna go with Johnny's premium blend loose leaf in one bed. I'm gonna do spinach in another. I'm going to do a bed of radishes because it's that time of year that people are dying for radishes. And then I'm going to save 1 bed for head lettuce. So I'm going to do a blend of Salanova and a blend of iceberg in there. And so we're the 14th of March. That means by the 21st of March, spring, I will have I'll have those seeded out. So I'll be harvesting those close to the end of April. And our first market starts on May long weekend, which is around the 21st of May. So that'll give me sellable produce out of the greenhouse 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks before market starts. So I guess in my head, what I'm thinking is what's going to go in next. I'm going to do cucumbers down the 2 middle rows so that I can grow them vertically. I haven't. Give me some suggestions. What high value crops that I could put down the outside 2 rows of that greenhouse? If you can throw those in the comments. I've thought about quite a few different crops, but I haven't decided anything. But I am going to grow pickling cukes down the middle of that, and then when those things are done, whatever, early September, mid-September, I'll be yanking those out real quick. I'm going to go back to the spinach. I'm going to try Mosh, M-A-C-H-E. I believe that's the same as Claytonia, corn salad, miner's lettuce. They're all super, super cold hardy. So I'm going to do that spinach and the loose leaf blend throughout the winter. Was that a long enough response to a wee little tiny comment? Probably. Nice crop broker. Tomatoes go in. Yep. UT. Sorry, bud. I didn't see you there. Have an awesome night. Thanks for stopping on. Where the hell did I stop there? Okay, there. No, you can't time out another mod. Dang.
Shoot.
Who needs no dig when you can grow a spud in a bucket of stones? Yeah, right. Actually, that reminds me. I gotta get rolling on London Worms. His the hell was that one called? His chit challenge. Now that I've got the greenhouse up and running, I can have a good sized bucket in there and then throw a couple of blankets over it at night, and it won't freeze. I'm gonna get that going on soon. Is Kev back yet? No, he's throwing a fit. He's not coming back. You're in trouble, William. Hashtag William out. Exactly. Oh, it's okay. So it's Rose. Okay, sounds good. You let me know what you want me to call you. I'll call you whatever. It's funny.
Not late for dinner.
Yeah, funny. One of our best customers, one of the restaurants, his fiance and one of the head waitresses there, both their exes are Ryan, so they just call me Keith. Yeah, it's whatever. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. Yeah, radishes. Blue, have you tried radish microgreens? 7 days. 7 days versus 28 for radishes. All the flavor, all the heat. They're phenomenal.
I'm allergic, so I wouldn't know.
Herbs. Yeah. That's funny. Willie and I were talking about that last night. Slap herbs, slap basil down the sides because I've been getting year after year. I've been growing that herb business, and I know I can take that to a whole new level dealing with chefs this year. So that's a good one. Any other recommendations for? Oh, okay, French dwarf bush beans is what we call them here. I bought two varieties of French beans or bush beans, Lewis and Mascotte, Mascotte. So I'm going to do. I'm going to plant those direct out into the field. That might be one, Stu. That might be one to think about. Hey, beans. Oh, looks like Kev's back.
That's funny.
Exactly. Kev, I got up to the exact same thing. I'm like, Willie's personal channel, and I'm like, oh, he got a video out. I watch that, and I go back to my subscriptions. I'm like, oh, he's got another one out. After about the 9th video, I'm like, bro, what are you? You're right. You protest them. You don't watch those. Herbs would be nice with the cucumbers. Basil, parsley, dill, cilantro. If I did that, I would just keep those 2 outside beds, herbs, as long as I could, like till the end of the year. And that might be something that I do. But even in a greenhouse, unheated, high tunnel, cold frame, whatever you want to, I really don't care what you want to call it. I know what I see in my head, and it's not quite there yet. It'll have a double layer of poly on it. It'll have a heater in there, and then everybody can agree it's a greenhouse. But right now, even in an unheated greenhouse, basil's gonna die. It's so wussy. The spuds and turds. How did it go? I planted in some moose turd that Deb Garnett. Oh, Deb Garnett hand roasts coffee. She gets beans from all different continents, hand roasts them individually, and then puts them together. We sell her coffee blend on our website. But she gave me a bag of moose crap. So that's what I grew them in last year, and I think I got 4 spuds out of that bucket. Who knew you couldn't untime somebody? Untime out. You knew. Yeah, that's it, Babette. The potato chip challenge. That's it. I'm going to get that going on. Great question, Tony. How'd the spuds and turds go? Not great. I brought them in and cleaned them up, and I fed them to the family. So they didn't know the difference. How was your shitty tater? Stir frying them and having them in noodles for brekkie. I haven't tried many microgreens outside of work. Oh, radishes. I'm not sure. I've tried them stir fried. Hey, Plum Bob. How's it going, buddy? How's Sherwood Park treating you? You got your motor? You've probably been out on your bike for a rip or two, eh, bud? Go for a rip, are you, bud? Oh, yeah. No problem, Mr. Willie. Yeah. Have you got a story yet to tell these people?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Well, if I have to go to the bathroom or something, so just sit in silence.
I don't have a story, dude. Yeah. I'll just disappear, run away. I don't have a story.
Yeah, Kev, you're too funny. I laugh my ass off when you posted on Nick's that he boils frogs. He's the nicest guy I've ever met. But the only downside is I'm not sure that everyone that watches his videos knew that was a joke. Okay, Little Farmer's Farm, Tony. How much would an indoor microgreen setup like yours cost? And is it expensive to run? That's a great question, Tony. Okay, so Costco sells these racks. These racks are a couple $100. Home Depot sells those lights. There's 2 sets of, right up here, you can see them better. 2 sets of lights on each shelf. Those lights were around $25 per fixture. And those are just, what are they? The T8s? They're just a 4-foot T8 2-light shop light. The T8s I was getting from Home Depot as well. I think they're about $5.30 each. So each set of lights is about $35. So $70 per rack worth of lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 7, $350. So $550 for a rack and lights. The trays, you're going to buy those by the case. They come 100 in a case. It depends on what neck of the woods you live in, but you're you're probably talking 80, 90 bucks for the case and then whatever it is to ship it to you. So you're going to need the ones with the holes and the ones without. So even if we said that was like another 300, so 550 per rack. And my system, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 with lights. I don't know if you can tell, but right there, I have enough lights for a few more racks. Last year when the shutdown came, I was trying to source out more lights, and I don't know if everybody else was having the same ideas, but I could not. Like stores were, oh no, we're out of them, and I'm like, you're a flipping hardware store. What do you mean you're out of lights? And so I searched around, and I found up in Edmonton. I drove an hour and a half, and I think they had 40 lights. I bought them all, so I'll have enough to expand the system. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 racks with lights. Whatever, call that $3,000. Trays and soil. The soil I get is, well, it's a soilless mix. Comes in the big bales, and those are $30 a bale ish. A little less or a little more depending on where you go. So, I started with, I think, just a couple of racks, and I also started with 1 set of lights per shelf. And that did okay. You do have to rotate your microgreens. So like when you got the 1 light in the shelf, the bits in the middle grow like this. The bits on the outside grow up towards the light. So that's when I added a second light to them. But hope that answers your question, man. Honestly, on the grand scale of things, it isn't, well, let's relate that to how much can you sell the trays for. So each rack holds 4 trays, and you got 5 of them on 5 shelves on a rack. So what are you're 20. You're 20 trays. On a low end side of things, people are $15 to $20 a tray is what they get for them. So if you set a low end, there's $400 that you could produce on there if you can sell it. I mean, anybody can grow it. You got to be able to sell it. So 1 rack can produce $400 a week. So 1 rack can produce $400 a week, and it would cost you, what did I say, about $550 to get that, buy it, put the lights on, and away you go. So a couple weeks worth of growing on it, and if you're going hard at it like I am, you'll be able to recoup your cash that way. Again, long enough answer for you. Sorry. Okay. Got a red card for mentioning other live chats, but pedals in the paving slab, one of you and your deputy. Yes, exactly. Always love seeing Stu and Ruby. Always like to see what's going on. I get a kick out of your other daughter, Olivia, is it? That just like refuses to be on camera. Yeah, I've got one of those too. I've got to kind of, catch her by surprise, and then she's good to go. She did really good on that 40 questions tag. That was probably one of the more fun videos that I've done in a long time. I really, really enjoyed that one. Where is Deb? I don't know where she is, bud. Just texted with her a week ago or something like that. You got a story yet? Think of a story, for crying out loud. How about a market story? How about a funny story? How about
Market, yeah, because those are really fun.
Well, think of something.
I'm trying.
Jolene thinks the grow setup is outstanding. Thank you. I don't innovate much, man. I just copy those that already have a system that's working, and that's what was working for them. It's affordable. It's really nice to be able to move things around easily because of the wheels on the bottom. You can get things swept up real quick. Like sunflowers and buckwheat, they keep their hulls on them. So as the leaves are pushing out, I'll just be sitting here and ting ting ting, ting ting ting. Like I'll just hear like hulls hitting the ground. It's a gardener's version of like whale song to help you sleep. I find it more relaxing than.
Some people listen to white noise, but if you prefer
you can do whales.
whale sounds,
you can do whales.
do you?
This Christmas, I'll have my Whale Sounds Christmas songs out. Like 15 songs for $13. It's going to be a great deal. You wish you still lived near a zoo. You used to get bags of zoo-doo for the garden. That's crazy. Eh? That'd be so neat. That'd be so nicely varied.
Being like, this was brown and elephant poop.
I got a huge load of llama manure a year ago, and that the what did I put those on? We put those on zucchini rows.
Mm-hmm.
They did well. Llama poop is good stuff, just like my hair. Oh, my hair's outstanding. Only when it's staticky. What color is your red face? Clody Clode. Yeah, can you tell them all the story of when you ate the turds buds?
I don't remember it. They tasted fine, I'm sure.
Really hard to say, Stu, when you're going to do. It might even be next year now. Long story. Oh, Stu. Been there, brother. Shoot me an email if you want to chit chat. Is Kev coming clear that he was hammered when he was telling everybody you were a frog boiler? You know, Kev, you kind of remind me of Guru Murfinda in a way. You know, you'll get hammered and make comments. He'll get hammered and just do lives. I love it. I love it. Oh, shoot.
Just glitched.
Yeah, Stu, I'm hearing you. Like when we're done in this house, it's going to be out in the country somewhere. Don't care at all about the house. I just need to make sure I got room to grow.
Far enough away from train tracks so I can get a dog, though.
Okay, tell you what. Jay Harrison asked a question. You answer that. Oh, because you know that. Because you did that. Tell him the procedure for harvests.
Who? Jay. Okay. How are markets nowadays? They are definitely what? How are markets nowadays?
How are you transporting the goods to markets?
Oh, in a car.
Go through the whole harvest process.
Well, yeah. I guess we harvest stuff and then we obviously take microgreens, but we start off with just boxes of veg, load them into the vehicles. I start with boxes at the bottom and then like of cucumbers, peppers, blah, 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 potatoes, and then throw tables in, throw the legs in, throw my stand in, and then once the table's in, they actually are very, very perfect to like slide the microgreens on so that like your microgreens don't like slip and slide all around. I find, at least. You have Dad's truck, he has like his racks, but in my sister's car, don't really have those racks. So it's really nice that they like sit very perfectly. And then throw in the market bin and just call that a good old day. Yes, there's not really too much to. It's not glamorous whatsoever, I wouldn't say. I don't know. It's fine. Sorry, I'm nervous being on camera, so that's why I'm acting awkward.
You and Will are the same. I can't leave the screen and you guys wet yourself.
I'm weird. I'm weird being on camera, but yeah, no, there's really not too much to it. It is tedious, like just the prep behind it and the bagging of everything, because Dad will be on the computer and like Wednesdays are double market days, and Dad likes to like just sit here, and so I'll do a bunch of it. He'll do stuff from like 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. and then I'll do the rest and like prep his market, but then also have to prep my market. So it's good.
She's so good.
It's good, but it's a bit of a tedious process. The driving is what I hate about the markets. Don't love the 40-minute drive to like Wetaskiwin. Hence why I would prefer to go to Camrose, just due to my own personal opinions. But Dad goes to Camrose. It is a farther drive, but I do Wetaskiwin's on Wednesdays, and then I do Pinokas on Mondays now. So yeah, it's really really not that hard. The posting, my sister posts all the time to prepare for the markets. I'm really bad at this. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't. eh, it's really not that hard. I don't know if I'm supposed to scroll down on. Cool. Just wondering. Oh yeah, no, we don't have a trailer. Well, we're hopefully preparing Dad's utility trailer for like cold food storage for markets for the summertime. And we didn't have one last winter either. We just took Dad's truck everywhere. Due to COVID, most markets are only allowed one vendor, so that's why we don't go together. Um, Hi. So yeah, hopefully we will be converting the trailer to cold food storage. But yeah, besides that, we literally like Dad has his entire truck put up. KK, favorite fruit to put in a smoothie? Ooh, blackberries, strawberries, and raspberries. Sorry, I can't pick one or the other. Oh, or actually ginger. Not a fruit, but I picked ginger.
Back onto your stool.
All right, stool time.
Break it down.
Back into my stool. You're doing way better than I did in front of. Oh,
Exactly, Stu. Horty Hugo, how you doing, my Irish buddy? And hello to anybody that I haven't seen, because I've been kind of rambling on here, not really riffing off of the comments. Idaho Garden Girl, how are you, my friend? What's your name if you feel like sharing it? IGG. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about calling you Ig. What's up, Ig?
That kind of sounds like ugh.
Yeah, it sounds like Ugg. Ugg, the ugliest shoes in the world. Why do so many women like those?
Oh,
They're like a Sorel for women.
but people like their shoes
They're
and then get, like,
gross.
crawl in.
Oh, they're gross.
Oh, no, I like Crocs.
All I see when I see somebody wearing Uggs is you got stinky, sweaty feet. Yeah.
We wear mucklucks. They're like kind of just a higher brand of Uggs.
Cool. You're wondering if we had an enclosed trailer and how we're managing markets. Yeah. We do have an enclosed trailer. It was what I used to carry all my tools in for renovations. So again, like I say, or I said earlier, whatever, we'll jettison those. We'll put those in storage for now. And yeah, whatever. We'll certainly bring the camera along on that exciting build. But at the end of the day, that is really going to be exciting to me. I know not everybody's going to give two hoots about that, but to be able to, have fresh, cold, bagged produce out on the table when that sells, bam, back to the trailer. So again, it's just not sitting there in a Rubbermaid tub with a lid on it, something over top of it, trying to keep it out of the sun. Kaylin's getting some love here. Oh, Greta! How's she going by? All right. Well, the nice thing, Greta, you can always go back some night when you're insomniac and you can't sleep, you can watch this again.
Sorry, guys.
Ginger, yeah, dude. Oh man, I don't know what it is about ginger. I love
and,
ginger.
And yeah, I get really bad nausea as well, so ginger really helps that. So it's nice to throw in a smoothie every day. Plus, the taste is amazing.
Hey, Dion, how are you, my friend? Thanks for following us on Facebook. And so funny, my oldest daughter comes to me. She's like, "What is going on with this comment?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's just a YouTube friend of mine." Bagging on alpacas. Are markets like the Rico markets that Richard Perkins has in Sweden speaks about? I follow him. I haven't watched an enormous amount of his stuff lately. Pardon me. Nick, I'll have to take a look at that. I'll have to check out those vids specifically to see what they're like. You guys down in the States have farmers markets, right? I mean, people come and put up a 10 by 10 canopy and set up their table however they want. I think I've got a couple of vids on. I've got one on how I set up the market table, and it was starting to look, it's starting to look pretty good. I think we got her pretty down pat now.
Oh yeah.
Like when we roll up to market, we don't mess around.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
boom, this is up. We know where everything's going, and I don't know what it is. I really, 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 really like the living microgreens at market. It's really tough to walk by without like it's a living wall of
people
green.
are like, oh, that's a nice little herb wall, and it's like, actually, they're microgreens. Let me tell you about them.
The croc clogs are surely the ugliest shoes. You know what? They might be, but they got holes in them for ventilation. It looks
Crocs.
like your feet can breathe. Those
Crocs
big,
are good, like farm shoes too. Birks, I can't do.
Uggs look like you're wearing like a wool mitt on your feet. Sorry, not a fan. Diggy's back. Right on. Kale, yes, alpacas and kale. Those are the two things that
My hands are massive in this camera. Holy,
you got man hands.
I do. I got some mitts. Sorry. I don't know why I
just
did
want to
that.
ask my daughter / carer, is it embarrassing to take Mr. Slackbladder into town? Does he need to wear an adult nappy? Not yet, Kev. Although I did tell a story earlier about how I darn near needed a nappy. Dion, post a comment about your hat. In the fingernail about your hat in the last video got removed. Sorry if it hit a bad note. Didn't get removed by me, pal. I do have my comments now set on YouTube to be approved first before they go public. Just whatever. We had some challenges last year, so whatever. I just like to keep things positive. So I'll take a look through that again. Sorry, dear. It's funny. I've had I certainly get a few of the, the gruff rural guys, walking through market and see me wearing some of my girly hats. It's pretty funny.
Oh, but, yeah. Somebody was like, oh, you should make him wear like a different hat. And I was like, I love him in that hat.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Mind your own
It's one of
business.
his
I'll wear
staples.
whatever I want.
Yeah, like it's his staple.
I'm hard to miss at market with hats like that. I'll tell you that. And I don't
Draws
care.
people in, and
All
the
I need is-
conversation started.
Yeah,
too.
all I need is whatever. If I can get a quick smile out of you, chances are you'll pop over and say hey. And if you like eating, you might buy something.
And also, it's a hat. It's not like it had slander on it.
Mark, are your plans to take produce to market?
No, I like to go there empty-handed.
And if right, didn't make a sale today, but have no inventory to count either.
But I was there.
Yeah, let me know anything that I can do, to help out anybody that wants to go to a market. It can be a little intimidating at first. I remember my first market. Oh God, it's terrible. It's terrible. Like just the display was terrible, and I had all my gorgeous produce nicely bagged up, and then it sat there for 4 hours in 26-degree sun. And I've learned so much.
Definitely a learning curve. I remember my first market too, and Dad was even there for it. So I was very insecure and unconfident, and but I learned and grown a lot from that. So now I love markets.
This year you actually had to get some mods for Twitch. What's Twitch? Due to kids coming on and
Twitch is like a streaming gaming kind of like like Zoom. It's kind of, but it's for gaming.
Oh,
Like you could Twitch with other people.
okay.
and play
Okay.
a game. like on your Xbox or whatnot.
That's funny. I remember when kids used to like ring your doorbell and run away and like do like they
Well,
troll you, but in
did
an
you-
active way.
Did you see her?
Yeah, the Facebook
thing?
post.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I see this Facebook post, you know, to the kids that rang
Here's
my
the
doorbell and keep
picture.
running away, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to come and do that to you in the middle of the night. And then, and then our neighbor, I see her post, sorry, I found 2 of the culprits. And I'm like, kids. I mean, honestly, if the worst thing they do is ring your doorbell and run away, be thankful. Be very,
No,
very
no.
thankful.
Also, but did you read all the comments?
No, it's Facebook. Of course, I didn't read all the comments. My hats are my
Girl,
trademark.
The girl that was like the teenage girl that lived in there,
Sure.
she was like kind of like staring at the 2 guys. So then they came up to her window, and that's why that happened.
Oh,
And like there's like so many posts of like conversations on that.
No.
So I was like, whatever.
you spend all your time picking away on a keyboard when you could just chase them down and
Kick their ass.
cunning plan to feed the kale to the alpacas, and then the alpacas choke and die. Yeah, well, I mean, it'll take care of 2 birds with 1 stone for you. Gaming, creative, whatever, streaming. I don't know. Need to explore the market a bit. Need to be away. To be home more.
Yes, his hats are his trademarks. And his hair.
Yeah, my hat and my hair.
And his
Yeah, but I mean, again, I think, you know, if a person's looking to go to market, then, you know, you go to as many markets around you as you can,
Get
just
your
to
name
scope out and see who's there, who has what that's similar to you. How do they display it? What's the pricing points? What could you do different? Could you display it different?
Even last
You know,
year,
it's-
a guy that he came to Rimby and he went to Bentley and he sold like balloons and like candies and stuff. And he was like, "How are like the kids?" Like he went through
Yeah.
vendors being like, is the traffic flow for kids around here? Like,
Yeah,
should
he
I
did
be
his-
doing this market.
he did his
due
reconnaissance for
diligence,
sure.
For sure. And you know, got to be honest with him. So you tell him yes or no.
Yeah, you know, and that's a good point. So, like, not only just go to and walk around other markets, but take some time and chat with other vendors, right? I mean, one of the things that I think I've done a decent job of, anyway, is the building a relationship side of things. I don't look at the other veg vendors as my competition and screw them and all the rest of it. Like, not even a bit. I mean, I'll get my table all set up and then I go and do a walk around. I say hi to all the vendors that I know and try and whatever. I just do me and try and make sure everybody's in a good mood. And hey, we're gonna have a good day today. And
Hope for the best.
but I specifically go to the veg vendors. I see what it is that they have that's fresh, and I make mental notes. I make the mental notes of like how big are their bundles, what are they
Prices.
selling it for, things that they have that I don't have, so I can send people to them. And of course, I say, "Oh yeah, no, you need green onions. Go over and see Ben from Market on 12. You know, they just harvested them this morning. They look great. Make sure you tell them Ryan sent you." Right. And it's one of those things that, like, after a person gets 5 or 6 customers coming up to them, "Oh, hey, Ryan told me to come over. You guys have green onions?" or whatever it is. You know, people know that you're there to help them as well. And it's not just a competition thing, because at the end of the day, there's only so many different types of veg. There's only so many different types of veg that are in season. There's only so many types that are popular enough to be selling. So to some extent or another, we're all going to cross over each other.
And then also, in a sense, if you do that for somebody, hopefully it gets reciprocated. So helps.
Exactly. Right. So, you know, I can say to Ben, "Hey, I'll be sending people over for your green onions.
He'll send somebody over for,
You know, I've got my loose leaf lettuce or what have you that he doesn't." So it has worked. It has worked pretty well. Hat and hair, the trademark. Hair's the strength. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what draws the people in.
Oh, you started breeding quail. Cool. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Southpaw Davy has spoke extremely highly of quail. Just a great little bird. Really don't take up much room. Easy to harvest. Morgan Freeman's next film, Where He's God. if I'm not Jesus. Yeah, I think about the only resemblance is the hair, possibly. Okay, Kev, all right, we watch these videos where I am genital deep in snow. Have you ever considered immigrating somewhere a bit more hospitable? Yeah,
Every day.
right. Yeah, I listen, man. I mean, everything revolves around the dollar. You know what I mean? I mean, the girls and I aren't opposed to moving anywhere. I mean, somewhere in
Nothing's
Canada,
really
somewhere
holding
else. It
us
doesn't
here.
doesn't matter. We would have absolutely no problems with that. Again, you know, it's not even so much about like starting a business over again. I mean, if I move somewhere else, I'd find a way.
We moved a farm like 3 times in like a month and a half. So
Blech, that's
really
terrible.
not opposed to moving anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not the
And
moving aspect.
I have faith that we could go somewhere else and start up, you know, Thistle Hill Farms or whatever, and sell veg wherever we are.
Mhm.
It's just really it's a matter of money. If you got the money, moving's no problem. Question: are there any parts of Canada where the climate is less harsh in the winter?
BC?
Most parts actually, Stu. Like we're in Western Canada, and then so we're in Western Canada. There's Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta here, and then there's the Rocky Mountains, and then on the other side of the Rockies, it'd be where Willie lives. So Willie, big mountains, and then the prairies before you get into the Canadian Shield. So basically, what happens is all the warm water comes off the Pacific, comes up and over the mountains, and comes down as cold fronts. So we live in the coldest part of Canada. Eastern Canada doesn't deal with the same depth of temperatures that we deal with, but quite often, most years, they deal with far more snow. Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to moving anywhere. I mean, there's not a whole lot of countries that I wouldn't check out. Yeah, there is. Yeah. There's other parts that are a little less harsh, but you know, if a person's using tunnel cultures out in the field, right? So the farmer that I'm with now, he's going to be cultivating the fields here. You know, we're hoping in 2 or 3 weeks. So that's going to put us like right at the start of April that he'll have those cultivated, which means I will be able to get out there and make our 30-inch rows like I did in the greenhouse. And, you know, from there's a ton of stuff that, especially if I have it started and I can transplant it in. I mean, the second those beds are ready, the onions are going out there. The second those beds are ready, I would like to have some beet transplants that are able to go out there, kale transplants, Swiss chard transplants, things like that. If a little piece of row cover goes over them and then a piece of poly over some hoops, you'd be absolutely amazed, you know, what we can get going on so much earlier than just out raw in nature. So that's going to be something that I'm experimenting more with this year. And I know that the farmer that I'm with, he does the exact same thing. So it'll be really neat to see how he does things. Northern Australia is too close to the sun. I would probably die, Dia. Like, it'll be -3 outside, and I'll be in a t-shirt, breaking a sweat. Like when I was watching you guys going through the crazy heat waves and all those horrible fires, you know, like 45, 50 degrees. My brain can barely get around that. 30 degrees to me is like, that's too hot. It's too hot. It doesn't need to be that hot. Coolest of the border provinces. The northern provinces and territories are cooler. Yep. Yeah, Willie's got her nice. He has her good out there. She's been on like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Still 35 people on here. Any other questions? Anything else that you want to hear about? Or
just want to see our pretty faces.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
Dad's long hair.
Yeah.
Report. Remove.
Yeah, I don't know who Painkiller is. Am I near Patty at Spring Hill? No, I am not. And no, I have not visited her farm. I looked into prices. I looked at how to get out there. I've had an invite from Patty, like a standing invite for that's 3 years now. You'd like us to do a video together. I can tell you right now that her and I would like to do that as well. We've talked about it a lot. And when it can happen, it'll happen. You know, I mean, the funny thing is that when her and I both have time is when not a whole lot is growing and it's like crap outside. What's that?
Nothing. I'm just
Okay.
Willie.
Yeah, I know, guys, right? Like, have you got a story yet?
I finally found one.
We'll finish this live and she'll be like, oh, I could have said this and I could have said this.
I have a story now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, Jay, that'd be wonderful. I'd love to go out there. The amount that I could learn from going out there would be wonderful. If our farm wasn't at the, at the point of growth where it's at right now and taking on a new step at a new farm, I would have happily gone out there and helped out for the season. You love that I wear t-shirts when there's snow outside. It's, it's not warm enough really for the snow to melt or melt quickly, but it's still plenty warm, bro. It's still, yeah, like we got the door,
open.
We got the door wide open and
actually quite warm.
Oh, that reminds me, not a single person mentioned it in the comments, and I thought they would. In the last video that I did at 2 minutes, if you watch like that 6 seconds, tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. Like, I was blown away that I didn't have anybody bring it up. But whatever. Anyway, we'll see if anybody catches it. Question: would you rather fight a moose-sized beaver or 100 beaver-sized mooses?
I don't want to fight the beaver.
First of all, have you been anywhere close to a beaver, Stu?
I don't.
Do you have any idea how quick those things could simply lop off a limb?
I'm good. I'm good with.
I'm gonna go with a moose. I can hide behind a tree.
Yeah, moose-sized beaver. I'm good.
Moose-sized beaver, you're done.
But 100, just normal.
Well, you know what? You're done either way, right? It's essentially how would you like to die?
One then 100 is.
You don't have a story yet?
I do. You just haven't talked.
Oh, okay. Well, tell your story.
Okay, so
I'll be right back.
First time ever doing a market alone, I decided to battle the Sylvan Lake Market. It was a fun market for sure. Set up my canopy, which was already kind of wibbly wobbly. Set it all up. Set up my entire stand. Put the weights on the canopy. Everything was fine. Boom. Wind starts just rolling in. And rain just starts falling from the skies. And I started panicking. It was my first market by myself. I was very insecure, very unconfident, and had to literally hold the canopy down. I had people help me. Microgreens were flopping over. It was honestly not the best. Got everything packed up. I ended up just calling Dad and Riley, just crying my eyes out, and just ended up just driving home. It was really not that fun. And that was my first market by myself. So then after that, just started being more insecure or unconfident in doing markets. But I feel the growth that I've gotten from doing markets has truly helped. Somebody said Frank said night, guys.
Night, Frank.
Night, Frank. Catherine says, "Oh, okay." Yeah, no, it really actually sucked. Was not the funnest time.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. That Sylvan Lake Market is right on the lake.
So wind just. and takes your
There's
canopy
nothing to
away.
stop it. Nothing whatsoever. And I mean, many times at market, like things will be getting crazy. We're holding on to our canopy.
And
we
genuinely thought I was gonna Mary Poppins out of there.
and we see other people's tents like flying out, customers getting out of the way. It can get a little crazy.
Yeah, and like, so what happens if your canopy flies up and like knocks over customers or something?
Kevin, no, never too old to send out for adoption, buddy. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. The markets are, well, I mean, it's our main source of revenue. So I mean, obviously, gotta like them, right? But I mean, like let's not forget that the world has been a different place in the last year, right? And if it wasn't for markets, I mean, me, Kay, and Riley, we're the only people that we see ever. I mean, we haven't been out for dinner in a year. We've done pickup a couple of times, but I mean,
Takeout's a little bit different.
you just don't see people. So I like dealing with people. I mean, it's not too tough for me to throw a smile on someone's face. Southpaw, it was the door into the greenhouse. Yeah. Well, what I did was I tried a new little trick that my editing program allowed me to do, and it like put a mask on it. So I was standing in my garage and I opened the door and walked straight into the greenhouse that's 30 kilometers away out at the farm. So
he was so impressed with that. He goes, I wonder who's going to notice that.
I was like, look what I did. Oh, some garlic cheese bread. Are you kidding me?
I want garlic cheese.
Share. Vicky's making yummies.
Come over, Vicky.
Yeah, you got to share. You got to share. You've been doing laundry? I mean, hey, listen, that's the nice thing about...
I have to switch out my laundry, so thank you for reminding me.
It's the nice thing about lives is that you don't have to sit there and be watching it, right? You can listen in the background or what have you, chime in when you can. Are West Ham beating Mario? Oh, okay. That's more soccer talk, football. So dinner for a first time since Cove, son's 22nd birthday. It's a great time. Good. Yeah, good. I mean, it's not, listen, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to get into the whole COVID thing and open a can of worms with everybody that believes different things. But, at the end of the day, I don't want it. And I don't want to be giving it to anybody else. And, lockdowns up here are lockdowns. There's nobody around. There's nobody to talk to. You know what I mean?
Play it safe rather than break the rules.
Oh, you kind of caught that, did you, Stu? Yeah. I'll get better at that stuff. I just, again, I mean, repetition is the mother of skill, and I just obviously haven't been doing a whole lot of videos. It is something that I've really wanted to do, though, is make a good watchable video. Like, it makes up for the crap content, in my opinion.
Did we disappear?
What did I do?
I don't know.
Oh.
It looked like we disappeared.
What? What did I do? Hey, Scott. How you doing? Scott Hebert, market gardener from out in BC. I had a chance to go out and visit his farm. I do have a couple of videos on that. I got a short version, and then I got like the full walk around, which was awesome. Thanks again for that, man. I know it's probably nothing to you. You've given tours of your farm before, but it helps. It helps so much to ask somebody a question that's, a year or two or steps ahead of you. Much like the support that I got from Patty and Wayne at Spring Hill Farms. So yeah, thanks, bud. I very much appreciate it. And speaking of a guy that makes a watchable video, Mr. Scott Hebert, it's not crap content. Yo, 2,400 subs can't be wrong. How about the 180 that watch? Those ones have it right. Yeah, again, man, I lose zero sleep over that kind of stuff. I don't care. My YouTube isn't set to make money. It was for me I started YouTube to try to, just quit feeling so shitty and so down. So getting into the gardening community and then the chit chats with other people has been wonderful. Like Willie's one of my best friends. We've been out to visit each other a couple of times.
So many connections that he's made.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, I will be coming back, Scott. I will be. Oh, and you'll even let Willie back, huh? That's nice. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that you enjoy the live chats. Yeah, I don't think either one of us would have a problem, doing a few more of these. So if you like them, we'll keep it up. Justin Gay is another gentleman that runs a market garden down in California, and even though him and I have got really polar opposite climates, seasons, well, not polar opposite, he's not in the southern hemisphere, but you get my point. Like, I learn a ton from watching Justin and seeing how he's doing things and which microgreens he's putting a lot of his time and effort into. And I mean, he's growing mushrooms and stuff there now, and it's just it's great. That's the thing about YouTube, is that you can hopefully you can connect with people that have similar setups or similar goals, similar business, similar desires. And if you can build relationships with those people, you can glean a lot of information, and you can pass information back and forth. Nice of you to stop on, Justin. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. How ace is the gardening community? I can't even tell you, man. It's good. It's good people. Lola, Lost on Land. Your daughter's building her first garden right now, and you got starters started. Kind of exciting. Just leave out the kinda. It is exciting. Keep me posted on that. I hope it goes well for you guys. Thanks, Adam. Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, Sundays we call it Sunday Fun Day. It's our day off, so I seed out 30 or 40 trays of microgreens. Clean the garage.
Sleep till 11.
Make sure everything else in here is watered. Make sure we have our inventory done so we can get a veg order in on Monday from the greenhouses. And hopefully there's a hockey game on to watch. But
yeah, they're pretty relaxed days. Sometimes do takeout on Sunday Fun Days.
Rose, thank you kindly. Have a wonderful week, my friend, and we will see you when we
Don't
see
drop
you.
any more smoothies. I'll try not to. Thank you. That sucks.
That's an
It
excellent.
really hurt.
It's an excellent point, Nick. Not only learn tons from YouTube, but gained confidence from being on it. I've seen that in you. You and I started at the same time 4 years ago or 5 years ago, and you're, yeah. It's easy to see, that you've gained confidence, and then of course made good friends. I mean, Nick and I usually chat once a week. Willie and I, Digwell, Southpaw Davey and I, try and keep in touch. Vicky, Patty, Scott Hebert. We don't keep in touch the same as I do with those other people. But like the other day, I shot him a text on the bubbler and what size, and he's always got time. It's awesome.
And even for me, you got to gain confidence for YouTube videos. Not always very confident on them, very reserved in a sense. So it's nice to be on live chat here, because then it also helps me gain confidence with markets and being on Dad's YouTube channel. So it's nice.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, I enjoy the fact that both the girls don't seem to mind being on every now and again. And
yeah.
I mean, it'd be pretty tough if Kaylin didn't want to be on. I mean, we wouldn't be filming anything out at the farm, really.
Yeah.
Sunday Fun Day.
Show my face.
Sunday Fun Day.
But yeah, no, it's nice to gain confidence. It's good.
Yeah, Justin. Thanks. I'm trying to crush it, bro. Yeah, I had a couple questions for you. I was wondering if sometime you and I could maybe Skype or something, and do whatever, talk about markets and talk about the pricing and a couple things specific on the micros.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, say hi to your dad, Clody.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, it's like you say, Catherine. It is. It's nice. It's nice to have them not just involved in the farm, but whatever, the video process and that type of thing. Again, it's I've never really been an alone type of person. I do much better in a group. So
Little groupie
it's
group.
nice. It's nice, to have a team.
I can't. Okay, okay.
Yeah, aren't we all a work in progress, Stu?
Oh, thank you.
It just depends.
Oh, I really appreciate hearing that.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're-
Don't be embarrassed by your
Is that
videos.
your kids you're talking about, Greta? Your kids are always embarrassed by them? Can't be you. Your videos are good. I like them. Your calming music. Your pet
4
seals
hours
and
late to the
whales.
party? How dare you not set your alarm?
Who's that?
Veggie bag garden.
How come that twat in Switzerland is Spanish?
You jerk.
Do you want a spanner, Kev?
No, me
Silly old lady.
What?
Well, A, you're not that old, my
Yeah,
dear.
and also-
my dear.
shouldn't be embarrassed.
And
But
yeah, no.
confidence is nice to build. Anyways.
Yeah, no,
So much confidence. Okay, that's a stretch.
I enjoy your
Gotta
vids,
go for
Greta.
a
You got
stretch,
it.
'cause
You
that's
have
a reach.
you got a lot of knowledge there. I enjoy seeing how you do what you do. Question: you know a guy that knows a guy who has a mouse problem. If you were to have a mouse problem, how would you deal with it? Well,
Get a
if-
cat.
yeah, I was going to say if I had a friend that had a mouse problem, I would probably
Give him our
bug
cats.
him enough to the point where he didn't get beat by a cartoon mouse. Like living your life like you're, Tom out of the Tom and Jerry or whichever one was the cat is not a good way to go. And yeah, cats are free, man. Cats are free. Every
Yeah.
city in the world, cats are free.
Just go drive down a gravel road. You'll find one, I'm sure.
Okay, Adam, thank you for sticking around, man. I appreciate it, buddy. I very much do. Let's see some more videos out of you, dude. Traps with peanut butter.
Nope.
I'm allergic to peanut butter, so
we would
I
all
would
die.
I would have sympathy for the rodent at that point. Landmines, interlocking arcs of fire, weapon systems. Yeah, no, there are ways to
probably put the compost bin away from the house because they like to fester there.
putting it 8 feet away from the door is perhaps not the best idea. Blue, you can't have your son on because he's a bit of a jerk. That's all good. It's all good. Not everybody was cut out for the gardening world of YouTube,
I didn't think I was, but here I am.
Too funny. Any other questions? Anything else anybody wants to know? I mean, I have kind of run my mouth for 3 hours here, but we still have 30 people kind of kicking around that don't have much better to do this evening or this afternoon, wherever they're at.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wish I had more stories. I know I do, but I just
Told
can't
you about
think of them.
Told you about the stalker. Told you about the hater.
Told you about almost Mary Poppins out of the canopy.
Yeah, hey, Blue. Some of us aren't. You know what I mean? But to create a comfort zone, sadly, you need to step out of the one that you're in. Right? That's the only thing in life is that if you only stick with what you're comfortable with, you really don't learn much. But we all come to that realization or don't in our own time, right?
And also, it's a learning process as well to do that. So
Yeah,
it takes time. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and learning about yourself, which a lot of times aren't easy lessons for us, right? Plum Bob, thanks so much, man. I hope you have an awesome week, and I hope it becomes motorcycle weather for you as quickly as possible. C4 explosives.
All right, next live, I'm going to need a different stump because this one to read the comments hurts my back.
Right. Rats are not something that I've ever really had to deal with in my life. Like I lived in town when I grew up in Manitoba, and like it was a town, a city. Like there wasn't rats. There might have been out in the country. I never saw any. And then moving to Alberta is a rat-free province. So Willie's showing me some videos, and I'm like, oh, those are big.
Bye, Grella.
Okay, take care, Greta. Have a
Greta.
wonderful evening. You need glasses worse than I do.
I know. I'm supposed to be wearing glasses, but back to my
Too funny. Well, you know what? I know a few of my my mods are, you know, over in the UK, and it's got to be getting late for them. I don't want to keep anybody. Dion, stalker, hater. Who do you have to kill? Oh, he's gonna do it to himself. He's digging his own hole.
Yeah, no.
Like that's why I haven't even
literally taking a shovel and digging his own grave.
That's why I haven't told you his farm name and his Instagram handle and all the other stuff. Because at the end of the day, it makes me laugh because I know what some of my friends on here, like the type of horse shit and abuse they would give this guy, and he does deserve it. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, I don't want to like when I run into somebody that's being a bit of a twat, I don't necessarily want to deal with it exactly the way that they do. So whatever it is what it is. He'll continue to represent himself in a very unprofessional manner, and we're going to keep growing quality microgreens and smiling and being at every market and getting in front of our restaurant customers, and we're just going to keep doing us, baby. That's all we're going to do. Hi, Sophia. How are you?
Hi, Sophia.
It's Willie's granddaughter.
Oh, hi, Sophia.
What are you eating now, kiddo?
Well, I know Willie's eating a glass of Merlot.
Oh, no doubt. Hey, just upgraded to a glass of Merlot. Change the subject from killing mice.
Sight reading on a screen.
How do you feel about frogs?
Ribbit? I don't know.
Right, Nick. Exactly. Well, here's the deal. It's Sunday fun day. I have absolutely nothing. Like besides, I got a seat out like 30 trays.
I don't really have any plans.
People want to stick around, just give me an idea what you want to talk about. That's all.
Ask a question. Dad will have to read them to me, but.
Oh, you're worried about possums and raccoons in your garden?
Deers.
You know your area better than I do, my friend.
We're worried about deers.
Are they that prevalent in a metropolitan area? We banished them all to Quebec. Fried frogs, gumbo frogs. I tried frog legs when I was down in New Orleans, and I quite enjoyed them. I'll eat most things though. I don't have too many hangups. And you would be one of them, Dion. Trust me, I was tempted to give you guys the name of it and just let you guys go troll, but whatever. It's all good. Take the higher road. Oh, wow, really? So just having a bird feeder there, and you caught 3 or 4 of them on camera. Huh. Okay, Southpaw, I know it's getting late for you, brother. Thanks for sticking around. No, the hater hasn't done as well as us. So yeah, you hate your voles. I know.
Oh.
I know.
Why does that
Thought you had some mice or rats digging up your bulbs.
Moles?
Next door dog digging them up. Dog and I would have a foot to ass conversation. I'm next to positive. Dogs are super easy to train. They're a lot like people. Reward them when they do good, and no rewards when they do bad. Do frogs' legs taste like chicken? Kind of same type of texture as you get out of like a drumstick type of thing. I mean, and they were smothered in some, whatever Louisiana concoction. I mean, there was lots of flavors going on in there. I don't know. I didn't mind them, dude. I just looked at it like a swamp chicken, I guess.
A swamp chicken.
If you leave your chicken cage open, the raccoons will leave the garden alone. What do they just go for the eggs, or do they just straight up kill the chickens? I haven't had a ton of experience with raccoons either. Native frogs are a protected species here. Oh, okay. What were the
Toad?
Those were toads down in Australia that aren't they poisonous and they don't have any natural predators.
Raccoons
y'all
are
did
vicious.
y'all did some odd things with introducing like species that had no business being there and then wondering why you had problems 20 years later. Oh, really, Rob? You got people stealing stuff from
Cane
your
toads.
allotments? Cane toads, that's it, yeah.
That's what he just said.
Oh.
Or she.
She.
Yeah,
So,
she.
yeah,
Sorry,
she.
my bad.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about those. People going to allotments to steal stuff. I mean, it's got to be like power
That's
tools. They're
desperation.
you're not fencing shovels and rakes for too awfully much. I wouldn't imagine. I don't know. I don't know.
Any questions?
Oh, really? You
Conversation
used to cook frogs' legs. Raccoons are vicious. You know what, my friend? I look at them the same as I look at say beavers. They might not be that big, but they're part of nature. They got teeth and claws. I do not. I want nothing to do with it.
Is Southpaw Davy away? Can we talk about him now?
I believe he went to bed.
Yeah, we said bye, Dave.
Lola, you're gonna start a farm. You're gonna start a farm.
Leave some meth in the road, and they will leave your tools alone.
What's a mountain chicken, Rob? Leave some meth in the road and leave your tools alone. Yeah, I guess so.
What is that? Does that?
Well, they're just looking to steal stuff to sell it to get drug money. Apparently, is what I'm taking from that.
I see.
So,
says.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm not going to torture you anymore. I will. We'll clock off. Thank you very much for the last 3 hours. It's been fun. I really appreciate all of you guys that did stop on. We will. Next two projects are going to be the wash station and the trailer build, and then some seating in that greenhouse. So hopefully we will have some. Some content out there for you guys, and the rest of you, like, please keep making videos. And if you just get like a thumbs up in the comment section from me, just know that I'm elbows deep in planting something. And apologize for not being as active in the comments as I used to be, but taking this from gardening to farming has been an absolute blast. So, guys, thank you kindly. Everybody have an absolutely awesome week, and we will
see you later.
See you on the next one.
Thank you guys for being so kind to me.
Bye.
Oh, that was actually fun.